أهل الجنة يوم يلقونه سلاما. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. And thank you to Madam Nur Aini Alegrea. Sunnah. Alegrea Sunnah. Okay, and thank you to all participants who joining us in this morning. And inshallah, this is the 11th class. It's already reached to 11, and we have 18 weeks. This is the 11 weeks already, inshallah. So we hope our program, our class today will running smoothly. Before that, because Madam Noraini Alegrea is the first time to meet us, let me introduce a bit about her data, biodata. Okay, Dr. Madam Noraini hold a PhD, a master degree in clinic and counseling psychology at International Islamic University Malaysia, and she hold her bachelor degree in psychology also at the same university. It's International Islamic University Malaysia, and she is a registered clinical psychology and handle trauma and draft related case and intervention with a basic therapeutic training in the BTC. She, however, aspired to venture into a more electric approach to therapy, or the model in the integrative therapy, combine a variety of discipline in one session. With this morning, we will listen from her lectures on the topic regarding the handling trauma, crisis, and grief. Part 2. In last week, we have listened in with this topic, part 1 from Dr.
Familiar.
Dr. Familiar. Inshallah, without further ado, فليتفضل مأجورا. Doctor, you have 45 minutes, but you should give 5 minutes for Q&A, Doctor.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much, Madam Moderator. And thank you very much to everyone who is present today. Thank you to all participants. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your effort in joining our class today. Okay. I know Dr. Pamela has covered, right, the basic foundation of listening skills, and also the first part of handling trauma, crisis, and grief. But today, I'm also going to talk about, but it's the part 2 of handling trauma, crisis, and grief. And I'm going to be very specific in this, right, in terms of focusing on one particular part that connects crisis, trauma, and also grief. Okay. Actually, there's a video. If you see this man in front, on the screen, it actually shows like, since it's not moving, I'm just going to tell you actually what he's actually doing. So it's actually, sometimes he'll be smiling, sometimes he would shed a tear, and sometimes he would be, just staring in space. Okay, that's basically what he was doing. Okay, so basically it's actually a sign, a sign of a person that could be going through specific traumatic experience or crisis, or actually grief. Okay, so let me start by okay. So before I talk about the mental health spectrum, okay, I would like to ask everyone, if possible, all right, to take note, right? So if there's anything that I would say or I talk about today would trigger all of you, or some of you, I would like you to take a breather. That's one. Okay, take a breather. You can leave for a while and come back later if you feel triggered at any point in time during my presentation. Okay, and then you can also do some breathing exercises, like what Dr. Pamela has taught all of us. All right, and do some grounding technique as well, and also talk to someone if you feel a little bit uncomfortable or anything like that during my session. All right, so just a little bit of trigger warning. Okay, so can I ask all of you to tell me what, if you can give me a number, right? You can give me a number. What would be the number of, what would be your mental health for today or this morning? Can you give me a number and type in the chat box? It can be from 1 to 10. 1 is not really okay. 1 to 4 is not really okay. 5 is just, so-so, and 6, 7, 8, and 9, and 10, of course, would be in a good state of mental health. Okay, thank you for the numbers. 6, 8, 8, 7. I can see 5, 7, 9. Very good. Okay, 8, 5. All right. Waalaikumsalam. All right, 6. Okay, 8, 7, 10. Alhamdulillah, 10. 9. Okay, very good. Okay, thank you so much for telling me your mental health, or how you feel this morning, because that would actually indicate, how do we start our morning, for example, and how would actually it affect us for the whole day. Okay, so we should see, or we can see mental health in a spectrum. So as you can see on the slides, right, mental well-being, that's the very good state of well-being. It means that you are emotionally stable, you are resilient, and then you have a clear sense of purpose, and you can actually function very, very, very well. Okay, so that is the state of well-being that we would like to achieve. Okay, but sometimes there are certain moments where we actually have some crisis or some difficulties or challenges in life. So we can actually go from a good mental well-being to mental health issues. Now, I would like to emphasize here that there are differences between mental health issue and also mental illness. Okay, mental health issues, it can be any individual that may experience mild to moderate mental health challenges. Like I said before, everyone is susceptible to stress, anxiety, or crisis, or mood fluctuation. So it's very, very normal. Okay, I'll give you an example. If we lose someone that we really care about, or that we love, it is very normal for the person to go through grief, or it could be a traumatic experience for that person, right? And also, he or she could go to a state of crisis as well. So it's very normal. But how do we know that, or how do we know the signs of whether it is becoming a mental illness or it stays in mental health issues? So we need some intervention immediately when the person actually reaches the mental health issue, or when the person actually go through certain crisis or trauma or grief. Intervention should be done immediately so that you won't go to the end of the spectrum, which is mental illness. Okay, because when it reaches mental illness, the symptoms or the signs or the condition of the person might be very, very severe. So that is where a clinical psychologist will actually diagnose a person would be having major depressive disorder or depression or anxiety disorder, schizophrenia, and other psychiatric disorders. Okay, and that would mean they cannot function properly. Okay, so this would need intervention, as well, immediately, because again, the more that you leave a person without any help or support or intervention, the more the symptoms will become worse. So that's why mental illness, people who have mental illness or diagnosed clinically with mental illness, they would need combination of pharmacological, drugs or medication, and also psychotherapy. Okay, so that is the difference between mental health issues and mental illness. I'm going to add one more under mental health issues. So how do we know if the person is actually going through certain depressive symptoms only, or it has become depression? So one of the markers or indication is if the person has been experiencing anxiety symptoms or depressive symptoms for more than 2 weeks. Now, it is stated in DSM-5, Diagnostic Statistical Manual, that we use clinical psychologists use to diagnose and assess, right? So we do that if we see a person, having those symptoms more than 2 weeks, then that would be an indication that it is becoming more severe. So that is why we need to know this spectrum. It's a spectrum. Okay, I hope that is clear. So moving on. All right. So what's the connection between crisis, trauma, grief, and suicide? So this is where I would come into this particular section where there is an intersection or interconnectedness between trauma, crisis, grief, and also suicide. So as you can see there, if a person is going through crisis, trauma, or prolonged grief, it can intensify the emotional pain, which could, I'm emphasizing on the word could. Not everyone is actually going to commit suicide, but it would lead to suicidal thoughts. Okay? So we're not actually looking at the act of committing suicide first, but we are looking first at the suicidal thoughts. So because it all starts with suicidal thoughts. And then you have precipitating factors. Precipitate here means the trigger. Okay, so a crisis or trauma can be a trigger for a person to attempt to commit suicide. Okay, they will be at higher risk if they already have mental health issues, as I mentioned earlier on in the spectrum. So if the person is actually going through something, it can be heightened or they can be triggered, very much if they are in that particular phase. And then, of course, losing someone, as I mentioned before, or losing a loved one through suicide, can actually create grief and trauma cycle within the family itself. So it's not only the person that is affected, the person who attempted to commit suicide, it's not the only person who will be affected, it's also the family and also the community. So that's why aftermath is there. Okay, so I'm trying to connect what Dr. Camelia has covered in the last session. So this is where I come in when I focus more about suicide. Okay, this is something that is very close to my heart. Not suicide, but suicide prevention. Okay, all right. So what does the term suicide mean to you? Can I ask everyone? Can I see in the chat box? When you hear the word suicide, what comes into mind first? What was the first thing that comes into mind? Taking your own life, correct? Loss of hope, thank you. And the pain, hopelessness. Yes. Feeling there's no way out of problems, lack of purpose. Yeah. That's very true. Okay. Anyone else? Ability of one to take his own life through hopelessness, depression, no purpose in life anymore, to end life problem. Yeah, true. Okay, thank you so much for the responses. Okay, take your own life. Correct. So all your answers are correct. So let's see what does it mean actually by suicide. So let's look at the statistics right now. World Health Organization has mentioned, more than 720,000 people die due to suicide every year. Okay, and this is a very grieving issue, and also it's a public concern. Okay, suicide is the third leading cause of death among 15 to 29-year-olds. Okay, can you imagine? From a very young age, people are already exposed or already having suicidal ideation or symptoms, in terms of the mental health. So working with suicide risk, it says here, is an inherently unpredictable endeavor. So what do I mean by that is you can never predict when exactly a person can actually commit or attempt to commit suicide. Yeah, in our profession as a clinical psychologist or a counselor, you can never really predict whether our patient or the client that we see today is actually still going to be alive tomorrow, especially when they are in high risk. Okay, so it's very, very important to learn how to prevent that from happening. Okay, so even, for example, if I see my client today, it doesn't guarantee that she will be with me tomorrow. Okay, she can be going back from my session, okay, but after that, nauzubillah, yeah, I would hear, she has taken her life or has taken his life, so we can never predict, yeah, when a person can actually do that, right? So later on, we will learn on how to prevent it to become like that. Okay, so the World Health Organization defines suicide simply as suicide is the act of deliberately killing oneself. And as I mentioned the last point there, suicide itself is not a single process of deciding to end one's life with subsequent action. So what does it mean? It means that nobody wakes up in the morning. Nobody in a sane mind would actually wake up in the morning and say that I want to commit suicide today or I wanted to attempt suicide today. Nobody in a sane mind, like I said, would ever do that or would ever think of that. Okay? But it is actually an accumulated stress, accumulated anxiety, accumulated depressive symptoms. So they have been actually struggling for a very long time. And it has come to a point that they think, what you mentioned in the chat box just now, they think that it is hopeless and is helpless. They just want to end the pain. Right? So that's why that's the only thing that they manage to think of, because they're not actually in the good state of mind. And people would present or manifest all these symptoms in different ways, which we will cover later on in details. All right. Okay. So let me ask some questions about suicide. So whether it's a myth, you tell me. Can you tell me whether it's a myth or fact? Is that okay? Is that okay? Everyone? Okay. All right. Asking about suicide will plant an idea in a person's head. Is that a myth or is it a fact? Is it a myth or is it a fact? Can I see in the chat box? It's a fact. It's a myth. It's a fact. It's a fact. It's a fact. It's a myth. Okay, fact. All right. Okay. It's a fact. It's a fact. All right. It's a fact. It's a myth. So it's a combination of answers, right? Okay. Asking about suicide will plant the idea in a person's head. All right. So if I'm showing symptoms, for example, if I'm showing symptoms of depression or anxiety or anything like that, you asking me whether I would have or it ever crossed my mind, if I say yes, would that make me wanting to commit? Okay? So by you asking me, right, a question like, are you planning to commit suicide or attempt suicide, would that plant an idea in my head? Actually, it is a myth. Okay, why is it a myth? It's because when people, suicide is I think it's still a taboo thing to talk about, isn't it? Right? It's still something that we don't really, wanting to discuss or confront, because it's a very sensitive issue. Okay, but if you see someone showing signs, like I said before, if you see me showing signs of depression or anxiety, that means I am already in the state that I'm not in a good state, right? So if you ask me whether it has ever crossed my mind, it won't actually plant an idea in my head. It's actually you allowing me to talk about what I really feel inside. Okay, being able for someone to actually ask me is actually not going to plant the idea. You are actually allowing me to be vulnerable, because not everyone is comfortable to talking to someone and tell them, you know what, it has crossed my mind, because we fear judgment. Okay, and people are very much, actually, I'm sorry to say this, but yeah, some people are very judgy in terms of okay, don't talk about suicide, we don't want to talk about it because it's something that is haram or anything like that. Okay, but actually asking them whether it's ever crossed their mind is actually a good thing. Okay, you are actually asking, okay, whether there is a next action plan after that. So this is what we would learn later on in the slides. Yeah, so it is a myth. Okay, remember that it's a myth. Actually, if you ask someone, is not going to, let the person, to commit suicide. It's actually you allowing them to be vulnerable and saying the truth. Okay, all right. So next one, if somebody really wants to die by suicide, there is nothing you can do about it. Yes. Is it a fact or is it a myth? Hmm. Can I see some answers? It's a myth. It's a myth. Correct. Yes, very good. Yeah. If somebody wants to die by suicide, you have not, you can't do anything about it. Actually, you can. It is a myth. All right. Of course, the outcome, nobody, like I said before, nobody is ever sure to the, of the outcome, but you can actually intervene. That is the most important part. The things that you can do for them is to actually intervene by being empathetic, by asking questions. Later on, we will also learn on how to ask, questions that could help you to decide on what to do or how to help them. Okay, so you don't need a degree to actually help another person or to intervene by giving by being there, by being present, by listening to them, as what Dr. Camille has mentioned before. Just by listening to them is actually a very good help. Okay, because they know that you are going to be there when they need you. Okay, and that is the least thing that you can actually do. All right, so you can do something about it. Okay, then I think the last one. Yeah, so he or she really wouldn't commit suicide because he just made plans for a vacation. She has young children at home. He made a verbal or written promises. She knows how dearly her family loves her. So what do you think? Do you think these people actually can commit suicide or would commit suicide? Hmm. Okay, somebody said just now, because in the core people want to live. Correct. So what about this one? Do you think these people would want to commit suicide? Hmm. Possible, yes. It's a myth. Yeah. Hmm. Actually, yes. This is also a myth. Yeah. Why did I say it's a myth? It's because not necessarily that I've made plans, for example, to go for a vacation, or just because I have children at home waiting for me, or just because, I made a verbal or written promises, just because, I know somebody loves me, it doesn't mean that they actually cannot commit suicide. They can actually. They could. Okay, they could commit suicide as well. So that's why I said it is something that is very unexpected. Even people, yeah, who died of suicide, they would say, what if they leave, like will or letters, I know I've been loved, for example, in their, in the letter, they would write, I know I've been loved, but it's, I cannot take it anymore. Okay, it doesn't mean that if they have responsibilities here, it doesn't mean that they could not or would not commit. Yeah. Okay, so this is also a myth. Right, and thank you for participating. Okay. Now moving on. Our duty as a helper. So why is it important to intervene? Because we have this duty to be a helper. And it's very much in line with one of the objectives of Maqasid Sharia. And also it is highlighted in this verse. Whoever saves one life, it is as if he has saved all the humanity. Okay, and I think it's a very important reminder to all of us as well. And whoever relieves a believer's distress, Allah will relieve one of his distresses on the day of resurrection. This is how much we encourage people to support one another, especially when the person is in distress. So like I said before, you don't need a degree or any certificate to actually be a helper. A helper here means in this context is actually your ability to actively listen to this person, allowing them to be vulnerable, allowing them, give them a safe space. Okay, and we as an ummah, right, a society or part of the society, we are actually responsible to take care of the people, that we have, the people in our community, so that we have a good mental well-being. Okay, and also I would like to highlight here, you can be an agent, yeah, of Allah's mercy by helping other people to navigate the struggles. So if we look at the concept being a vessel, for example, so it highlights it's not only that you are living your life according to what you need and what you want and what is your purpose, but also connecting to other people, helping other people is also your higher purpose. The connectedness or interconnectedness that we feel with other people is also a purpose. Now, it also emphasizes humility, as I highlighted there. Yeah, it emphasizes humility and belief that we are actually doing good, yeah, with each other. By doing good with each other, Allah is going to have mercy on us. Okay, and acting as a conduit for kindness and support, it benefits not only mentally, physically, but also our spiritual journey. It can aid our spiritual journey, and it says that it reflects a reciprocal cycle. So aiding others and being aided by others in return. So actually, kindness is very contagious. Okay, kindness is very contagious. So if you see someone doing kindness to another person, the other person might be inspired to do good or to be kind to another person as well. So not only it fosters gratitude, it reminds us of our role, okay, that we are a part of a bigger plan, not only for ourselves, but also for other people. All right? Okay. So this is actually adapted, yeah, from the Department of Veteran Affairs. They have used this approach to actually prevent suicide. Okay. So I came up with this a very, I think, similar, yeah, approach. It means S, seek to understand; A, ask with empathy; V, validate and provide hope; and E, encourage and also support. Okay, let's see the breakdown of SAVE. Okay, so it says there, right? Providing a safe, non-judgmental space, actively listening and observing and recognizing the signs of emotional distress reflects a ihsan or compassionate care to other people. It means that you are aware of what the person is going through. And also, again, I've mentioned this earlier on, it's a part of our duty to preserve life. Okay, and then it says there, it has been mentioned, right? It has been mentioned in many different surahs how important it is to provide, this safe space for people and for us to not be judgmental of what they are going through. By lending your ears, observing carefully, recognizing the sign, being aware, being mindful of what other people are going through is very important. So that's why S is to seek to understand what is the person going through at that particular moment. All right, that is S. Moving on. Okay, asking with empathy. Now, this is very important. I think Dr. Pamela has mentioned this many, many times in her lecture or in her session. We need to demonstrate adab, right, proper conduct, and also rahmah. Whenever we speak or whenever we ask questions, it needs to be it has to be empathetic or empathic. Okay, when the way that we ask question, the way that we seek clarification, we need to ask gently and directly about the struggles and thoughts. Because sometimes I think our niyat or our purpose is very, very good, very true. However, the way it comes out or the way that we say it actually does not match our intention. What do I mean by that? Sometimes we say things without being mindful, for example. All right, so that's why it has to be proper. So I am going to talk about what would be, what would be a gentler way to ask questions later on when you want to ask specifically about suicide. Okay, moving on, the V. Now, validate is very much a part of empathy as well. Acknowledge the individual's pain while reassuring them of Allah's mercy and the possibility of ease after hardship. Now, sometimes, I'll give an example why I highlighted the word possibility. Because again, there's no guarantee. Because sometimes clients ask me this question, when would the pain stop? All right, and that is a very difficult question to answer. Because nobody knows, how long the person will be in that particular state. And I don't have the answers for that as well. Okay, so there is a possibility of ease. We reassure them. Okay, we assure them through validating whatever that they're going through. Okay, validate here means, again, listen actively, respond empathetically, right? And then make sure that you actually are present, right, with them. You're constantly, being able to see how they process their emotions and all that. So through that would give them hope. Okay, and I've listened to one lecture, and then this famous psychotherapist would say, my clients would come to me actually with this little amount of hope. And then she said, you know what? You can borrow my hope until you get yours. That is how we are hopeful with our clients. Okay, we do want to feel that they will be eased, inshallah, after that hardship. And the last one, of course, E stands for encourage, help, and support. So it's part, of our responsibility, as a community. Okay, so Allah really, really loves people who actually think about how to make society better, or how to think about how to strategize, better to make the lives of people, better. So all that will be our part. So encourage them to seek professional help as well as spiritual support. Okay, while offering, what will be the practical help is you being there again. I'm mentioning this again and again. You don't have to, actually have a degree to do that. So practical help here means you're able to lend your ears, be there with them. If they need food, you give them food. If they need water, you give them water, or just be silent, sitting silently with them. That would be, that's the least thing that we can actually do. So that's the abbreviation for elaboration for the abbreviation SAVE. Okay, now I'm moving on to, I'm going to go a little bit quicker here. So I'm going to go a little bit more detailed on how to help, right, people who are going through crisis, trauma, and grief. And this is how you actually assess risk and ways to handle it. All right. So if, again, the question would be, how do we assess risk if a person is in danger or not? So based on your conversation with that person, let's say you're talking to someone, you're talking to a friend, and then how do I know whether, this is a crisis, whether we need immediate, she or he needs immediate help or not? Okay, you ask. Okay, based on your conversation, ask yourself, based on your conversation with him or her, do you believe there is an imminent danger? So there are three categories of scenarios here that could happen. So one, yes, imminent danger is clearly present. Second one, in the middle, you're not sure. It means it's unclear whether the person is in imminent danger or not, or whether the danger is present. Okay, and no, imminent danger is not clearly present or clearly not present. Okay, so how do we know if the person is in imminent danger or clearly in danger? The person talks about suicide. Okay, that is the first warning signs. Talks about suicide. Okay, I'm going to go a little bit further later on in details. What kind of, how do we know by just talking about suicide the person would commit? Okay, talks about suicide, talks about feeling trapped and burdened to others, feelings of extreme hopelessness, guilt, and shame, as you mentioned in the chat box, getting the means to take your own life. It means they are actually looking for something to actually assist them or help them or aid them in actually committing suicide. So they try to stock pills, or they try to get anything that is sharp, for example, to put near them. Okay, withdrawing and saying goodbye from family and friends or community. Some people would leave a will, all right, or would write suicidal notes, for example. Okay, giving away prized possession is also very common. There's something that we really, really love, or we really, we are very much, it's something precious for us, but we actually give them away to other people. That is also one of the signs. And then acting erratically. Now, this is actually very important. Acting erratically here means people from a very calm, collected, or very, how to say, patient, or anything, any changes in the character that is so profound or significant, that shows that the person is not well. Okay, so it can be, they can be in a very manic state, for example, or they're doing something that they're not used to do, or something that they used to do. Okay, a type of behavior. So, for example, posting something that that is so off, for example. Okay, so or putting a WhatsApp status that sounds really, it's not familiar, yeah, for that person to do that. Okay, and of course had attempted suicide before. So if the person has attempted suicide before, there's a high possibility that the person would attempt again. Now, also, if there are family members who actually committed or attempted to commit suicide, the higher the chance the person would actually commit as well. So it runs also in the family. Okay, and okay, that's the part where imminent danger is clearly present. The second part, you're not really sure. So this person would say, okay, I have engaged in self-injurious behavior, okay, or self-injury, which means cutting or burning, and now admits that they might be engaging in that behavior in the future as well. So they have had history. Okay, he or she makes statements that are suggestive. Again, I'm highlighting the word, or emphasizing the word suggestive here. Suggestive of suicidal thinking, but you're not really sure, because sometimes the words can mean something else to you. All right, so that is where you need to clarify. So that is why we need to conduct what is called suicide inquiry. Okay, so I'm gonna come back to this slide later on, but I'm gonna go to suicide inquiry infographic. So suicide inquiry is actually this. Okay, this is also an adapted version, yeah, from assessment 5-step evaluation and triage. Okay, so suicide inquiry starts with ideation. Ideation means thinking or ideas or thoughts. So these are the examples of questions that you can ask for people, or to people who are actually going through certain emotional roller coaster, or emotional crisis, or anything like that. Okay, or going through traumatic experience. So specifically, if they mention something about suicide. Okay, so how frequent have you been having these thoughts? So it needs to be very, very specific. Frequency here means how frequent, how many times have they thought about it during the day, during the night? So is it every single hour? How many times in a week, or how many times in a day you would have those thoughts? That's number one. Frequency. Intensity, how strong are the thoughts and feelings of wanting to commit? How strong they feel in their heart that actually they want to commit, or they want to end their life. Okay. And number three, duration. So how long have you been having these thoughts? Is it within a month, within last 2 weeks, within a year, or anything like that? Okay, so it's basically, again, asking the right questions so you can get the right answers. Okay, so these are ideation. The second one, plan. So plan becomes much, much more specific, because whatever that whatever ideas or thoughts they have in their head, they might actually do it. So planning is part of it. So timing, location, access to means, and preparatory acts. So example of questions that you can ask is when. When exactly do you plan to commit suicide? I know these questions are really, really straightforward and really direct, but you can actually paraphrase. Yeah, you can actually paraphrase these words. You can use your own words, but make sure that you highlight the main points there. The frequency, the intensity, duration, and now the timing. When exactly do they plan? Because these are the details that you need to jot down or write down. And these are the important information that you should have in order to intervene. Okay, so when exactly do they want to commit? Is it day or night, tomorrow, today, or anything like that? Where is the location that they would like to do it? There are very, very famous, like places or spaces that people would go to, yeah, to commit suicide. So location is important as well, in their house, in a building or anything like that. So the location is important. Access to means how available are those things with them. Okay, so is the I say are the means or the equipment or the tools that they want to use, is it with them, or is it available all the time? And how would they prepare for it? Do you have any access to any weapons? Right? So that those are the questions that you can ask. And intent, extent to which the person believes that the plan and the act will be lethal or self-injurious. Or it also means how what's the word? How are they sure? How are they sure in terms of the planning to be successful? So you can ask this question and you can give them a scale. From the scale of 1 to 10, how sure are you or how certain are you in actually thinking that your plan, to commit suicide, is going to be successful? So if it's more than 5, then definitely that is a red flag. Okay, so that is suicidal ideation. I know I'm aware of the time. I have 4 minutes, inshallah. Hopefully, I get to finish what I was saying. Okay. So yes, so this is suicide inquiry infographic. Now, if ideation, plan, and intent are all present, return to the imminent danger. Again, it's ideation, plan, and intent. If all are present, go back to the imminent danger is clearly present. Okay, but okay, if there's no imminent danger or there's no imminent danger that is present or clearly not present, he or she reported that they are sad, anxious, overwhelmed, but did not express suicidal thoughts, or they're showing no warning signs. Okay, so that does not mean that we just leave them like that. There are ways to actually help them as well, even though they did not share any suicidal thoughts or ideation, and that's not necessarily warning signs. So let's go to how to help them. Okay, for imminent danger, of course, immediately call emergency services or any 24-hour crisis hotline. And there are things that you can jot down. Okay, write down any relevant details or information about the background of that person, and then make sure that you keep it confidential. You only give it to the person who is in charge. So usually we'll give it to the person, to the nurse or to the doctor that will be attending to the client or to the patient. And then for unsure, okay, if not all are present, just now I said, if all are present, go back to immediately calling emergency services and 24-hour crisis hotline. That is what you need to do. But if not all are present, if there is only ideation, there's no plan, there's no intent, then there is a higher possibility that this person would not commit suicide. So, but you don't just leave them like that. So discuss with him or her about your concern if help is not provided immediately, because there's a possibility of them relapsing in terms of injuring themselves. Okay, ask if they have seen a counselor or therapist before, if they have encouraged them to continue therapy. If not, you can actually provide services, a number of hotlines or any counseling services for them to get help from. Okay, so that is why you need to provide available resources. Continue to follow up with him or her if appropriate. Okay, I'm going to finish in a bit. Okay, so the last one, listen and provide. For those who are not really clearly not in danger, you can listen. Don't just abandon them. Listen and provide support, but do not become his or her therapist, because that is not your job. Okay, like I said, yes, anyone can be a helper, but not necessarily professional. So try to keep an open door policy. It means you can always come to me. Whenever you want to talk about something, you can always come to see me and talk about it. Okay. Even though I did not get to finish reading my slides, but it's okay. Perhaps I'm going to cover it in our next session. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you very much, Madam. Now we're open for Q&A. If all the participants you can what I call have a question, direct question, you can raise up your hand so that I can open unmute for you, or you can write in the chat box. You don't have much time, so have to be rushing.
If there's any questions and I couldn't reply now, I can actually address it in the chat box.
Yeah. If okay, there is one question you can answer
Okay,
here.
sure.
Later.
Someone have anxiety all the time. Can such a person or person be prone to a suicide thought or action? It can. They can actually, because again, like what I mentioned before, mental a person who is suffering from mental illness, mental health issues, they could be susceptible to be having mental illness. Okay, so yes, it is possible or prone to have suicidal thoughts, because again, look at the duration of how long, yeah, or how frequent they're having this anxiety and how long they've been going through it. Yeah, thank you for the question. Are the data of facts on suicide you presented earlier also true for the Muslims? Okay, like I said before, there are many there are many what's that, articles. There are many articles that talks about, okay, why is it still a taboo to talk about suicide? Because again, the fact that 720,000, right, it doesn't really represent only it's globally. So there are small number of Muslim community or countries that actually go through or having high suicidal rate, but it's not as high as the global data. Okay, but it does happen. But those incidents are less likely to be reported, again, because of stigma. Okay, what is the best solution to do when you see someone want to suicide? Okay, that is a very good question as well. So we assess the risk. Okay, so we should assess the risk, whether the person is imminent danger or not. If the person is about to jump the building or about to jump from the bridge, you cannot actually ask question there and then, okay, because that is considered an immediate danger. So what you need to do is call emergency unit, meaning you call police, you call firefighters or anything like that. But if the person is still contemplating, or if the person is still wanting to talk to you, or you see them, there are changes in their behavior, then that is where you can actually ask those questions just now. If they are communicating with you, that there is a possibility of them wanting to commit suicide. Okay, in case of possibility, should we inform relatives? Yes, that is a very important fact to take in, because in therapy, for example, we have something called safety plan. Safety plan is a plan that we give to our clients to make sure that we have contact numbers of the people, that the relatives, the family members, the immediate family members, so that we need to know or to inform them if anything happens at home. Okay. Okay, should we tell the person, among others, that it is haram to commit suicide? Okay, basically, as a Muslim, right, that is also a good question, right? That I would say, this is again my personal opinion. You can agree to disagree with me. Okay, so I would say, right, I think as a Muslim ourselves, I think we know, deep down inside, we know that it's a huge sin. It's a cardinal sin to commit suicide. Okay, but to make sure that they don't feel that you are actually condescending when telling that to them, that is a different case. So being able to actually talk with grace and actually inform them that, subtly, you don't have to really be so explicitly saying that, oh, it's haram, because sometimes, they know that already, right? It's already haram, but how to actually make them aware that, there is actually hope, for example. Okay. Looks
Okay.
like, yeah, we ran out of time.
Run out of time. I'm sure there's many more questions.
Okay, sure. I will
There
address your comments later on, our MS answers. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you very much for your participation, your time, and effort. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Doctor, for your intellect sharing and benefitful. Hopefully, we can have the call suicide people or stressing people, inshallah, in the future, and hope also participants can benefit from that. Inshallah, meet you in next session, Doctor.
Yes, inshallah.
Inshallah. Okay. For next, we'll continue with Madam Zarita. Madam Zarita, are you here?
Yes, I'm. Can you hear me?
Yeah, sure. You can open your window and try to share screen.
Yeah. Assalamualaikum, everyone.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, Madam. Madam, can you try to share screen?
Okay. Okay. Can you see it clear?
Yeah, sure. Can we try to move it into the next Yeah, it's moving. Okay. This is our first session and second lectures. Inshallah, we will listen from Madam Zarita bin Kassim from the Department of Communication, and we know her already because we are in the last two weeks, I think.
That's why you didn't be taken.
Okay. So she already with us in some of the session already. So this is the second time, right, Madam? Yeah. So we will listen from her regarding the topic coaching communication style. Okay. فليتفضل مأجورة, Doctor. We have 45 minutes. Oh, not 45 minutes because we already passed the time. 7 minutes. You can add extra.
Very much, moderator. And Alhamdulillah, very good morning to all participants. And we're going to discuss on coaching communication style, but I guess maybe it's familiar to some of you or maybe not. Yeah, where we're going to talk about coaching and communication at the same time. Yeah. So what is coaching communication style basically? The coaching communication style is a non-directive. It's not directive. It's specifically for non-directive approach where this relational emphasizes on collaborations, empowerment, emotional intelligence in various contexts, including in workplace environments. So you can apply this approach or this style of communications. So this communication style is characterized by its focus on facilitating self-discovery, enhancing motivation, as well as fostering a growth mindset among individuals that being coached. So in our daily conversation, in our daily communications, there are parts in the communication that we can grow people or we can grow ourselves at the same time. So unlike traditional the directive approaches, coaching communication prioritizes dialogues and active listening, allowing the coaches or your clients, your students, your employees to explore their thoughts and feelings while receiving or constructive feedbacks. So this essence in coaching communications lies in fostering supportive environment that encourages open dialogue, active listening, and reflective feedbacks. These three elements will be discussed in my presentations. So this is essential for personal as well as professional growth for us as well as for our students in our academic settings, inshallah. Okay, this is a framework of directive and non-directive coaching, where in directive coaching, normally we give instructions, giving advice, we offer guidance, giving feedbacks. And this directive coaching is normally pushing or we are driving someone's problem for them. Compared to non-directive, we are pulling. We are not pushing them, but somehow we are pulling them, helping someone to solve their own problems. All right. So it started with summarizing question that raise awareness, summarizing, paraphrasing, reflecting, and understand their situations. Right. Okay. In the coaching spectrum, as we can see, from directive to non-directive, so it starts directive, telling, instructing, giving advice. So normally this is what we do in tutoring. right? And mentoring is giving advice, offering guidance, giving feedback, making suggestions. But how does this non-directive start in coaching? By asking questions, summarizing, paraphrasing, reflecting, and listen to understand. Okay, right. Again, comparison to make it clear, directive and non-directive. In our academic setting, as a teacher, as a lecturer, for instance, or between our colleagues, are you solving a teacher's problem for them, or are we helping a teacher to solve their own problems? Right. So if you're practicing directive coaching or directive coaching communication style, normally we make suggestions. We give suggestions, we give feedbacks, we offer guidance, we give advice, and at the same time we instruct them to what to do. Compared to the non-directive, normally we ask questions to raise their awareness, summarizing what they say, paraphrasing their words, guiding reflections, and most important part is listen to understand rather than listen to prepare our answers. Right? So basically, what is communication styles after we look at the coaching, directive and non-directive coaching? So in coaching, communication style in workplace is one that emphasizes assisting others in finding their own answers rather than we give their instructions or we give their answers. So asking insightful questions that disapprove presumptions, pique interest and promote introspection is part of it. So it also includes listening with empathy and attentiveness without interjecting, without any judgment, and enforcing our own viewpoints. So last but not least, entails giving prompt, precise feedbacks that identifies areas for development to the coachee. An academic setting, for instance, where most of us are, coaching communication styles serve as powerful tool for enhancing communication with the students, fostering collaboration, as well as improving their overall performance, right? So in communication, normally we heard about effective communications as the best effective com. Yes, effective com is the best communication skills in our workplace normally or in our daily routine conversations. But looking at the coaching communication, it is characterized by its focus on empowerment and motivations. So coaches utilize specific techniques such as motivational interviewing or MI to encourage individuals to articulate their goals and aspirations. It's not about, it's beyond teaching. So coaching communication focuses on developing specific skills and behaviors through a collaborative relationship between employer and employee, the coach and the coachee, or lecturers and the students, or the colleagues between two partners. So this method emphasizes active listening, open-ended questioning, and reflective feedbacks, which are crucial for fostering a supportive environment where your coachee will feel safe to explore their own thoughts and their own feelings. And look to the effective communication, where effective com skills are more general and include the ability to convey information clearly and concisely, listen actively, and engage in meaningful dialogue. Yes, it is meaningful dialogue depending on your content. But in this context, the focus is on clarity, empathy, and the ability to convey complex information in an understandable manner, which differs from the more personalized and developmental focus of coaching communications. So effective com is not solely about the content of messages, but also about the context of the relationship among the team members, right? Okay. Okay, looking forward to the Shannon-Weaver model of communication. So this is a basic transactional model of communication where we are the sender and the receiver. We have the message and the content, and we encode and decode, including the noise, as well as choosing the platform of the channel of communications. But looking at the framework or the role model coaching, for instance, there are many other several frameworks, but somehow this is the most popular model that we use in coaching, the basic model, where this is introduced by Sir John Whitmore. The model is widely used in coaching contexts to facilitate structured and conversation aimed at achieving specific goals. So as we can see, the GROW acronyms stands for G for goal, R for reality, options for O, and W is for will or way forward. So this representing 4 stages of the coaching process where we could imply in communication style. So this model emphasizes a collaborative dialogue between the coach and the coachee, allowing for a clear pathway to personal and professional development. Okay, so how do we practice this GROW model? So a structured framework for this GROW model is effective for coaching conversation as well as problem solving. So in goal setting, we define the specific, measurable, and time-bound objective you want to achieve, the coachee want to achieve. And this step establishes the directions and the purpose of having the conversations. And R, we go to the second level is the reality check. So we examine the current situation objectively, including the challenges, the resources that they have, and circumstances that may impact their goal objective. And thirdly is options exploration, where we need to do brainstorm in terms of the possible strategies and solutions, and by considering different approaches and their potential outcomes. So it depends on the capacity and the capability of the students itself. And way forward is develop on action plan with specific steps, timelines and commitments to move toward the established goal that is prepared by the coachee itself. So these grow models basically provides a systematic approach to coaching that helps both coachee and coachee to maintain the focus and achieve the desired goals or outcomes effectively. Yeah? So there are many other models that you can practice. For instance, you have grow model, solution focus, and also the SMART models. This is also a common model to practice. Okay, so why this coaching communication style is important in workplace? So one of the primary benefits of coaching in workplace communication is the ability to foster a supportive environment, because we encourage open dialogue and more collaborations. And research by Han et al. Indicates that the effectiveness of coaching is not solely dependent on specific techniques, but rather on the quality of the relationship between the coach and the coachee, and often referred to as the working alliance. And this relationship is crucial for creating a safe space for employees, for our coachee, for our students, they feel comfortable to express their thoughts and their concerns. And similarly, Rosha and Lace also emphasize that general factors such as coach's personality and the expectation of the coachee significantly influence the helpfulness of coaching interactions. So you may need not to coach all of your students, but you may need to see the chemistry, the trust, the bonds that created between you and your students. So by establishing this rapport and trust, coaches can facilitate more meaningful conversations that lead to constructive feedbacks as well as leads to their personal development, right? So to understand this coaching communication style is essential to effective leadership, employee or students development, where we focus in guiding and supporting these individuals to achieve their full potential. And this style emphasizes on open communication and active listening, again, as well as the constructive feedback. So a key aspect of this coaching style, communication style, is to create a safe and supportive environment. And remember to build trust, foster a positive culture to empower and individuals to take ownership of their own development. So among of the importance of coaching communication styles, it could enhance employee or students engagement, where coaching communication empowers the students, fostering a positive environment. If you coach them, they can also coach their friends in promoting engagement. Improve performance. This cannot be this is very important as well, where regular coaching sessions encouraged. It could be planned or unplanned sessions. So the students can continuously learn and develop their skills, leading to improve their academic performance. Stronger relationship between the coaching in coaching communication also build trust and strengthens the relationship between manager, employers, lecturer, and students, where we can create a more collaborative environment, and it also leads to increased productivity, where through open communication and guidance, employee or students feel supported and they feel empowered, and they will take initiative by boosting the overall productivity. Okay, let's see on how or when to teach, mentor or coach. As lecturers, we always, sometimes you confuse, are we teaching, are we mentoring, or are we doing coaching? So normally in teaching is what and how. So basically, how do you help them to grow? By helping them to grow and showing them the way or giving them the answers, right? Mentoring is when sharing experience or leads to growth. We give tips, we suggest ideas, somehow we share our experiences. So everything is based on our experiences. But coaching is when finding the answers is within a key. So we really listen to their goals, objective, or their problems, or their what you want to achieve, by asking questions and help them to look inside themselves. Okay, not finding answers for them, right? So as we can see in this diagram, teaching, mentoring, and coaching. So in teaching, we ask directive questions, we provide informations, we seek specific answers, and we often highly structured and based on past learning, all right? And mentoring, we answer direct questions, provide information sources, we provide them with the details, seek alternative answers, and structured based on past experience also. But in coaching, we ask open questions, we enable the coachee to do self-discovery, we dispel false feelings and benefits, can be applied in any situation, but the most important part, we are future focused. So in between teaching and coaching, tailored to individuals' needs. So we need to understand each and everyone or personally, right? Compared to mentoring and coaching, normally we tailor more to their roles needs. And teaching, mentoring, coaching, between three of these elements, our aim is the same, that we share same common ground, that is aim to educate. Between teaching and mentoring, we focus on skills, process, and informations, right? Okay, now what is or how to communication, coaching communication, how do we use, or what are the techniques? First, more important part is active listening. So this is the most critical components of coaching communication, where we need to listen actively, be mindful, mindful listening, where this involves fully concentrating on what the employee or student is saying, by understanding their message, responding thoughtfully, and remembering the key points for future discussion, for us to paraphrase, to confirm on our own understanding. Do we understand clearly? So active listening helps build trust and rapport, which are essential for effective coaching relationships. And additionally, active listening emphasizing with verbal and non-verbal cues are also important. It's not only verbally, not only based on their verbal, on their answers, but by observing their non-verbal cues at the same time. By demonstrating genuine interest and understanding, employees or lecturers can create a safe space for employees to express their thoughts and feelings. Okay, the second technique is open-ended questions. In open-ended question, we utilize in our conversation. This encourages the students to think critically and articulate their thoughts more fully. This technique promotes deeper conversation, allows employee to explore their own feelings and their own ideas. And for instance, instead of asking, "Did you complete your project yet?" or a coach might ask, "What challenges did you face while completing your project?" for instance, right? So this approach not only fosters engagement, but also helps the students to reflect on their experiences and identify what can be improved, what should they do to do it better. And rather than using closed-ended questions that start with who, when, where, or do, we opt for open-ended questions that start with what, how, or why. And additionally, probing questions that dig deeper into the issue are better than leading questions that imply the answers. So reflective questions that help them clarify their own thinking are more beneficial than rhetorical questions that make statements that could assist them or lead them to the way forward. Okay, this is an example or exercise that we could do. All right. So the second, in terms of creating or structuring the questions, all right. In coaching, we call it as it's not question, but it's more to dynamic inquiries, right? So normally, how do we ask questions in terms of goals? So normally we ask, "Are you sure this is really what you want?" for instance, or "Why can't you decide on the goal yet?" for instance. This is a normal conversations. So in coaching, how do we ask these kinds of questions? So with dynamic inquiries question, we can ask, "What would success look like for you by the end of the project?" for instance. Or "How will achieving this goal align with your long-term aspirations?" This would make them think on their own goals and come up with new ideas. And secondly, on reality, or understanding the current context, to make them think about what do they have in hands, or how does their position or their status in a current situations. So normally we ask, "Why haven't you made more progress by now? It's been week 13, for instance, in terms of their assignments or projects. Or do you even understand what holdings you back?" So how do we ask these kind of questions? We can ask them, "What have you tried so far? And what are the results that you get? And what challenges are you currently facing that may affect your progress?" This will create their aha moment. This is the second step in terms of the reality. Okay, next is options. Normally we ask, "Isn't it obvious what you should do, right? You know what to do already, right?" So this dismisses the coach's ability to explore options, basically. Or, "Why don't you do just what I do?" All right. This shift focus away from the coach's autonomy, because we are expecting the way how we do things. In dynamic coaching questions, we can ask them, "What are some possible strategies you could use to move forward?" Let them think of the options that they have, or what could support you in overcoming these challenges. Then they would think outside of the box. It's not the normal kind of answers or strategies. And lastly, way forward in terms of action planning. Normally we ask, are you going to mess this up again? Based on our expectation, based on our forecasting, for instance, we knew. So this question is demotivating and harsh lah, by right. Or we ask them, you'll probably forget to follow through, won't you? Why don't you come for consultation, for instance? Where this assumes failure and undermines the confidence of the students. And we can transform the question into dynamic inquiries, such as what specific steps will you take to achieve your goal and by when. So then we can have their commitments, or what can you do tomorrow to begin making progress. Then they will start thinking about things they need to do, action need to be taken, and as well as their commitments. Okay, tips for the right way to ask questions through coaching or dynamic inquiries, right? So make sure we ask one question at a time, right? It's easier for us to assess the ideas or assess our more understanding for us as well, rather than bundles of questions and ask at once. We ask for the benefit of the person or the coachee, rather than we ask to satisfy our own curiosity. Then we can ask for more understanding later. Believe you are an equal thinking partner. Believe rather than we believe ourselves to have better answers for them. They have better answers. They know themselves better than us. Intentionally crafted or randomly fired. Right? Or mix use different question type rather than repeatedly use the same type of questions. Then we need to analyze the different personality of the coachee. Right? And thirdly is the constructive feedbacks. So how do we give constructive feedbacks? It involves delivering feedback that is specific, actionable, and focus on behavior rather than their personal attributes. It's their behavior rather than their personal attributes. So constructive feedback helps the students to understand their strength and areas for development to facilitate their growth. Where research indicates that quality communication, including feedbacks, positively impacts the coach-employee relationship, enhances the overall satisfaction. For example, a leader or lecturer could say, I noticed you handled the group project well, but next time, why don't you try to involve the team more in the discussion, for instance, right? The feedback should be specific, focusing on observable behaviors and actions. But how do they involve their team is up to them on the strategies. So deliver feedback properly to maximize its impact and relevance. Focus more on the improvement rather than offering suggestions for positive changes. So make feedbacks actionable by providing clear steps or strategy for improvement. And lastly is the goal setting and action planning. So by establishing clear, achievable goals is a fundamental aspect in coaching communications. Leaders, managers, lecturers, head departments, colleagues, we should work with employees, we work with our colleagues, set specific objectives and develop action plans to achieve them. Where this collaborative approach is not only clarifies expectation, but also empower all the employees or the students to take ownership of their own self-development. So for example, a manager lecturer might say, let's outline the steps that you need to take to improve your presentation skills next month. All right, we collaborate, but somehow the idea of how is the individual task. So a comprehensive study by Thomson revealed that employees who participate in structured goal setting and action planning are 42% more likely to achieve their objective. And the process includes three key checkpoints. First, an initial goal setting. Session to establish objective or to create the goals that the action plan, the bi-weekly progress and challenges, and adjust the strategies monthly by monthly milestone or celebrations to recognize the achievement. This systematic approach has been shown to increase employee engagement by 38% and improve performance outcomes by 45% according to the recent workplace studies, right? And lastly is to encourage self-reflections. So encouraging employee or students to engage in their own self-reflection can enhance their self-awareness and promote personal growth, right? So where leaders or educators can facilitate this process by asking reflective questions that prompt the employees or the students to consider their experiences, their feelings, and responses to various situations. Somehow they don't have time to think about their own feelings or their experiences. They don't know how to assess it. And this technique helps employees or students to identify their own strength and areas for improvement where it leads to more effective performance. And for instance, a leader might ask, what did you learn from this project that you apply for your future tasks? Okay. Besides the verbal, we also consider or we also highlight on the non-verbal communications. Yeah, observe the open posture of the body language, because the open posture, like the arms, the uncrossed and relaxed, it demonstrates openness and willingness to listen. If the students or the employee cross their arms, so how do we open it? So how do we make them open, to open posture? So eye contact is also important. Observe their eye contact and maintain their eye contact to show that our engagement with them and attentiveness, but avoid staring. All right. Active listening, yes, by nodding your head, for instance, or by you are leaning in or mirroring the other person's body language, or you shows you are paying attention. Oh, okay, I see. Okay, that's nice. For instance, yeah. So that shows that you are listening. And through gestures, yeah, use appropriate hand gestures to emphasize points and keep the conversations lively and avoid excessive movement. Okay, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's two excessive movements, right? Okay. So overall, the coaching communication techniques, it involve a collaborative process, facilitative roles. It leads to growth mindset as well as through open communication. It creates a psychologically safe environment through active listening and also feedbacks. Yeah. Okay. So in order for us to practice, we always remember this 5 or 4 steps. Yeah? First, active listening. We pay close attention, clarify the questions, and understand their perspective, not based on our own understanding. With empathy, try to see things from the other person's viewpoint, not based on our worldview. They might have different perspective or different worldview. Recognize, acknowledge their emotions. We use questions that cannot be answered with simply yes or no. Try to avoid close-ended questions. Encourage reflection and deeper thinking. Feedback and support. We provide constructive feedback. We recognize both strengths and areas for improvement and offer encouragement and support to help them progress. We guide the person to reflect on your experiences. Experiences are very crucial, but how do we use their experiences as part of their learning process and help them identify the strengths and areas for improvement? Strategy, options. By implementing these strategies, leaders or managers or lecturers, we can foster a supportive environment that promotes and enhances performance, contributes to a positive organization culture or in our classroom setting, right? Okay, based on this table, we can see, all right, again, the differences in terms of thought, statement, or action by different approach, mentoring, consulting, therapy, and coaching. So in terms of thought process, in mentoring, so normally in thought, they would say my experience is and I know how. So in our thoughts, consulting, I am an expert. This is what you are paying me to tell you. So based on our own experience. Therapy, okay, I will help you heal from the cause. So basically in coaching, how can I support your learning? Where would you like to go from here? So this should be our thought. In terms of statement, how do we construct the statement? Normally in mentoring, this is how I would do it. All right. In consulting, this is how to do it because we show them, right? This is how you should do it. Therapy, tell me about your past and what was it you went through because you want to know, because you want to heal, experience from the past. In terms of coaching, normally we ask, what have you tried? How has that served or deserved you? What else is possible? So depending on the growth framework just now, right? So action, in terms of mentoring, normally we guide and advise. Consulting, we direct, we give them methods with techniques and information. Therapy, we probe, we psychoanalyze with deep reflection, and we come to terms. But in coaching, we explore, we experiment, we learn new ways of working, thinking, doing, and personally, and it is professionally. Get the professional coach or doing it professionally, right? Okay, now we move on to the Islamic perspective on coaching communication styles. So looking at this coaching communication style from Islamic perspective emphasizes on the importance of the ethical interactions, mutual respect, and the development of individuals in a manner consistent with Islamic teachings. This approach is rooted in the principles of Islam, which advocate for compassion, understanding, and pursuit of the knowledge, right? So guidance and support, Islam also emphasizes guidance and support for individuals' growth. Yes, we need to improve on daily basis. Today is better tomorrow, tomorrow is better than today. And respect and empathy. So respect and empathy are crucial in interpersonal interactions and as well as collaborative approach. Coaching aligns with Islamic principle of teamwork and collaborations and also for continuous learning, where Islam encourages seeking knowledge and self-improvement. Right? So in terms of Quranic verses, we Quran Islam or Quranic verses in Quran emphasizes the significance of intention in all actions, including communications as well. So in Surah Al-Baqarah, for instance, it stated, Allah does not burden a soul beyond that it cannot bear. So these verses underscores that the importance of understanding and empathy in communications. We need to know the capacity and the capability of the students of our coachee, for instance, which is essential in coaching context. So coaches are encouraged to approach their coaches with compassion and understanding, ensuring that their guidance is tailored to the individual's capacity and circumstances. It's not what we expect or not based on our own standard. So this aligns with the prophetic tradition where Prophet Muhammad, peace upon him, said that the best of people are those who are most beneficial to others. And this hadith also highlights the essence of coaching as a means of benefiting others through effective communication and support. Right? And moreover, in the concept of da'wah, of course, we cannot run away or cannot avoid from da'wah, where you invite others to the path of righteousness, is integral to coaching communication as well. So da'wah is not merely about conveying information only, but it also involves a compassionate and respectful approach to guide others. So I mentioned in Surah An-Nahl, invite to the way of your Lord with wisdom and good instruction. So this emphasizes the importance of using wisdom and kindness in communication, which is crucial for effective coaching communications. Where coaches are thus encouraged to embody these qualities, fostering an environment where coaches feel valued, safe and understood. Okay, and this is also the communication style. If you can take from our Prophet Muhammad, of course, peace upon him, exemplifies key aspects of effective coaching, particularly in the areas of asking questions and providing the constructive feedbacks, where his approach reflects a deep understanding of human nature and a commitment to guide individuals towards personal and spiritual growth. So one notable example of the Prophet's coaching communication is his use questioning to facilitate learning and self-reflection. So when a companion would seek his guidance, the Prophet would often respond with a series of thoughtful questions rather than providing a direct answer, a generic answer. So this approach encouraged the individual to engage in introspection and arrive at their own conclusions rather than simply accepting the directions. For instance, as narrated by Anas in Sahih Bukhari, a man asked the Prophet about the hour, i.e. the judgment, by saying, when will the hour be? The Prophet said, what have you prepared for it? Okay, so this line is questioning or prompted the man to reflect on his own action and preparedness rather than simply receiving a generic answer. Right? So what are the benefits of using this style, of this coaching communication style? So by adopting this coaching communication style enhances interactions, whether in working or in educational settings. It fosters a supportive environment that promotes growth and understanding. This approach is particularly effective in tailoring communication style for working or learning and addressing the unique needs of the employee or the students. Then you can understand better individually. All right. Employee or students engagement, where coaching helps employee valued and supported. They feel valued, right? It encourages them to take ownership of their work and strive for their own growth, their self-development. Improve performance, of course, by providing guidance and feedbacks. Coaching empowers the employees or students to identify areas for improvement to enhance their skills. Enhanced communication is also fosters open and honest communication between two parties and create a safe space for any kinds of dialogues and feedbacks because we got no judgment on them. And positive work environment, coaching promotes a culture of collaboration and support, contributing to a more positive and productive working and learning environment. Okay. So the conclusion and the key takeaways for today's presentation is coaching communication style is effective and is also powerful tool for building a positive work environment and is applicable in any settings. So when coaching is implemented effectively, employees or students, they feel empowered and valued, leading to improved job and study satisfaction as well as motivation that would lead to their performance. So by focusing on clear communication, active listening, constructive feedback, we can foster a culture of growth and development. And by developing our coaching skills, our lecturers apply these techniques to guide our team towards achieving our goals. right? And Lee J. Collin has said, mentor and coach others whenever you can, and your teaching will deepen your own learning. As well as, hold on, another one. Okay, this one is by Tariq Ramadan. Quotes from him: a true teacher doesn't teach you to think like him, but a true teacher teaches you to think without him. Okay, therefore, thank you very much. That's all for my presentation. So I open the floor for any questions.
Thank you very much, Madam. MashaAllah. So this is the Q&A session. If anyone have question or want to ask directly, you can raise up your hand. Madam, look like it connected with the psychology just now.
Sorry?
The communication and
Yes, of course.
psychology.
Yes. Because we need to understand people for us to have that effective communication. So by understanding people, then we can communicate better so that we can understand them better.
MashaAllah.
Yes, because all of us
It's
are
look like one subject.
yes. Okay, thank you, Abu Bakar. Cherno. Okay, please can you make short briefing about teaching versus mentoring and coaching? Okay, I'll share back okay, the diagram that I shared just now, yeah, teaching, coaching, and mentoring. Okay, this is easy to understand, right? Okay, so normally we can observe ourselves. Huh? So what normally we do in class, whether we help them to grow by showing the way or by giving the answers, that is teaching, right? So basically we provide them with answers. Or any question, we ask them question and later we provide them with answers. And mentoring, we provide the answers as well, but somehow we are sharing our own experience, okay, based on our what have we have gone through. So we suggest ideas based on what we see and based on our experience. But coaching, you need to construct the question based on the capacity of the students. Then you need to assess the students. If the students have the potential, if the students are open enough, the student you need to see the willingness of the students in terms of learning. If they want to grow, they are willing to grow, that means they are willing to learn, right? So you start asking open-ended questions and you analyze their answer. Based on their answer, you can know their level or their structure of thinking. So it enables then you can construct the suitable question for the students. You can apply this in any situation. You do not has, it's not necessarily for us to have a specific session. In working place, yes, maybe between head department and lecturers, you can have a proper coaching session. But with students, you can have it anywhere, depending on their willingness. If you see the answers, they are ready to talk in-depth discussion, then you can tailor the question according to the students, right? So it depends on the response given to the students. Therefore, you also need to have the skills or the knowledge in terms what kind of question that leads to coaching questions. If the answer is not leading to any in-depth discussion, then you cannot come up with the dynamic inquiries because the student is not at the standard. They are not prepared themselves to have the deeper understanding or deeper questioning or answering or deeper discussions. All right. So it depends on the situation, or you need to observe and identify the student's situation at the same time. Right. You need to build the rapport, create the trust between you and the students. Then only you can have an open-ended questions. Because somehow it's hard for the students to open themselves, right? So especially in class lah. Okay, I also face the same issue. But somehow by applying this coaching technique, especially outside the class, yeah, within our lunch with them, for instance, or during society's activities or exercise. This is how we explore them. When you identify the students and you explore their potential, you know that they have that potential, but somehow they are not aware of what inside of them, right? Their own potential, and we are trying to declutter their mind by right. Okay, they have that anything that we want, they have that in mind by right, but somehow they don't know how to declutter their mind, right? So it's the process of coaching. That is one question at a time. Okay, so in teaching, normally we did not allow for them to have their own answers, because everything is structured, yeah, and we provide the information so that they answer based on our own standards. Yes, in final exam, of course, they need to answer based on our own schema. Yeah, but somehow in having a coaching conversation, it's not a formal discussion or conversations, but somehow it can be done anywhere. All right, maybe while you are walking with them or you are having a meeting with them. So based on their learning process, along through their learning process, when they come to see you for consultations, and that is where you analyze them, you identify, and you start asking questions and how far they can go. Maybe by using the grow model just now, maybe you can just start by asking goal questions, about the goal, about their goals or their objective, or what do they want to do basically in the future. You start with that question and you can listen to their answers. That is why active listening. By assessing their answer, you can know whether you can continue with OA, ROW. If not, you have to settle on G first. Sometimes for these students, you start with G questions first, goal question, for at least 1 month or at least 3 sessions. Then only after the 3 sessions, that only you can continue or proceed with R questions. It depends on their maturity, it depends on their brain development, and it depends on their exposure as well, right? There's no one template for coaching session. So it depends on the response and the feedbacks from the coachee, for your student, from your students, or from your employers. All right? I hope that helps. Okay. Does it allow kids to
Yeah, doctor, you can choose to
okay, but somehow it's the attitude as well. You need to practice the ethical coaching techniques as well. Yeah. Okay. A great deal for this lecture. Analysis, it means both teaching metric. Yes, at some point it's connected, of course. Any approaches, yeah, it is we complement each other. Teaching, training, mentoring, what else do we have? Training, therapy, counseling. Yes, we are complementing each other. Yeah, for certain therapies, they also do coaching, but depending on the levels of the coachee lah, the status of the coachee. For students, yes, before you start your coaching process with your student, you may need to do a little bit of counseling first. It depends. It depends. If the student need counseling, you need to erase the maybe certain part of their experiences, bad experiences. Right? Maybe they need to deal with past experiences first, then only they can focus on their future. Yes, it's very important to. Yes, you can complement each other. It is interconnected. Yes, all approaches. We are not condemning any other approaches, but somehow in teaching, in lecturing, yes, we can practice coaching at the same time. While doing coaching, you can give them trainings. While monitoring them or while mentoring them, you can also train them. So it's complementing each other. No worries. All right. So the more the student explore, the better. Okay. So you did not turn on your mic.
Mashallah. Forget. Thank you very much, Doctor, for your wonderful and meaningful and helpful lecturing.
Inshallah.
So we hope that all students can benefit from our session, inshallah. And inshallah, we hope we can see you again in the next session
Inshallah. Thank you very
later.
much. Right,
Thank you very much.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, now we have 30 minutes for break. Inshallah, we will come back at 11. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum, Dr. Rohana. Assalamualaikum, Doktor.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, Doctor.
Sorry, madam, I cannot hear you. Wait, yeah. Alright. Okay.
You can hear me?
Okay. I think I have to take off this earphone. Right. Okay. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. You hear me, Doctor?
Wait. Madam, I'm sorry. I'm having problem to hear you from my side.
Okay, but we can hear you.
No,
We
I
can hear
cannot
you.
hear you. I'm sorry.
Okay, let
Can you hear me?
Yes, okay.
Yes. Oh, okay. So what shall we do? Because just now, okay, I could listen to the presentation very clearly,
Uh-huh. But
but now
okay,
I can't.
from my side or from other sides? Or other people can
Okay,
hear.
let me see. Mm, all right. Wait, yeah.
It's okay, Doctor.
Can you hear me, madam?
Yes.
Yeah, but I cannot hear you. What should I do now?
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay. All right. Okay, can you please give me a
But
minute? Probably I should change my device. Is that okay?
okay. Okay.
Correct. Okay, thank you.
sorry to all participants because we have a technical problem. So let's wait a bit from Dr. Rohana. Assalamualaikum, Doctor. You can unmute, Doctor.
Okay. All right. So can you hear me?
Yeah, sure.
Am I
I can
audible?
hear.
Okay. Alhamdulillah. Okay.
Alhamdulillah.
All right. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay. First,
Waalaikumsalam
can I
warahmatullahi
start now
wabarakatuh.
or?
Doctor, is the first time for you, right? Today is
Yes.
the
This is my first
ah,
first time. Yes.
okay. Let me introduce a little bit, Doctor, regarding you. Um, so, baik, Doctor, you can try to share screen first.
All right. Okay. Share the screen ya. Okay. Wait ya.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Can you see the screen or is it too small? All right.
Make it full screen, Doctor.
Full screen. Um, Wait ya.
Yes.
Wait. Okay. Right ya. Okay. Right. Yes.
Okay. Okay. This is the first time for Dr. Rohana. Dr. is an assistant professor, Dr. Rohana Abdul Hamid, from the Political Science in the Department of Political Science at International University Malaysia, and her focus on digital communication technology, politics and social media, and democracy and internet. Thank you, Doctor. Inshallah, today we will listen from you regarding cyber politics, possibility, and democracy and challenging. With that, we have passed already 7 minutes. Without further ado, فليتفضل مأجورها, Doctor. You have
Okay. All
45
right.
and you can do Q&A session.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you, Madam Jaria. Okay. Thank you for everyone. Okay, for coming. Okay. And I would like to apologize. Okay, for the technical difficulties. Okay, earlier today. All right. Today, I will be sharing with you about the ideas and the content of the discussion of cyber politics. Um, in my opinion, it won't be fair for me to tell you that today discussion will cover all the issues as well as the content of cyber politics, because cyber politics is a very vast area. It does not involve domestic specialized setting only. It does not only involve in the special in the studies concentration such as comparative politics, but it also link with other concentration in political science such as international relations, public administration and public policy, as well as political theory. However, today my discussion will focus on what is cyber politics, what are the potentials of cyber politics to extend democracy, and what are the challenges. All right, and at the same time also we will be looking at the um Islamic perspective on cyber politics by referring to a number of issues, all right, of cyber politics. First, let's take a look at the structure of our discussion today. We will start with the definition of a cyberspace. Afterwards, we will discuss on the issues on the democracy of the cyberspace. Of course, we will be viewing at the possibilities, of the cyberspace, all right, to extend, democracy, all right, and the third one is of course on the issue on the cyber politics and Islam. We will see how cyberspace affects the concepts of authority, which is very relevant today, and also the privacy in Islam. Let's start with the definition. What is a cyberspace? Basically when you talk about cyberspace, of course, currently we will link our definition with social media and its platform, right? Well, basically cyberspace is a place where we live now, and we are currently on cyberspace, or what some we would call as we are currently online. And it's a cyberspace that we experience the real space. For example, you have a friends on cyberspace, you establish a community on cyberspace or online. You for example when you play a game, let's say you have a pet, and it is a virtual pet. So what you do basically feeding your pet, for example, calming your pet, that is the activities that you do on cyberspace, and that is also the activity that you do in a real space, all right. And when we are in cyberspace, it's actually in reality we are here right now in our own room, and now I'm sitting uh in my house, for example, on a chair, but at the same time also I am talking to you, for example. All right. And of course, since the discussion on politics, and then in the area of political science, when we talk about cyberspace, we see there are quite a number of tools can be used to engage in political activities. And we will engage in the political activities, of course, we must have an objective. And our objective is, of course, if we ask, many is to extend, democracy. And how do we do this? We need a technology, or we need tools, for example, to achieve, this purpose. And probably, if you use, to have experience, using, the internet, in the 1990s, right? The most popular tools for communication online was at that particular time emails, and then mailing groups. For example, you have established cyberspace community as early as 1990s or 1980s, probably in developed country such as United States, right? But in Malaysia, we see the use of social networking platform, social media, for example, in 1990s started, of course, popularized with blogging or blogs, all right. It used to be a popular one, but now it has embraced to other tools such as TikTok, which is very popular not only among the young people but also us, because it has the ability to attract our attention with visual, graphic, and video for only 3 minutes, because our attention span is likely to sustain for about 3 minutes. So that's why if you watch YouTube video you see for children, it will not be more than 3 minutes. If you have a video that lasts for maybe 7 to 10 minutes, then you see the kid or the child, for example, will leave and scroll to another video. All right, so you have Facebook, we have Twitter, we have YouTube. For example, Instagram. Instagram is a very popular tools to engage in political activities, especially among the young. But for your information, even up to 2024, this is the data in 2023, but just now when I viewed at the data 2024, Facebook is still considered as one of the most used social media platform or popular platforms, followed by YouTube, WhatsApp, Instagram, we have WeChat, TikTok, FB Messenger, Douyin, Telegram, Snapchat, and others. All right. Instagram, is popular, like what I've stated, just now, especially among the young one, the teenagers, but there is a research, that says that as, we grow, we will change, the social media platform. Rather than, for example, using Instagram, for example, or TikTok, we are likely, to use or be a Facebook, user. So as you grow, you are likely, for example, to use, Facebook user. So that may explain, for the popularity, of, Facebook, as the world's, most used, social, media, platform. All right. And then the number of course social media, if we look, I do not have the data to give unto you, but for your information, for a sharing purpose, for example, if we look further, we can see that a majority of young people, especially 18 and above, use social media, about 86 percent of them, and about 65% of this population worldwide are very familiar of social media, or use social media. And for a gender representation, right, it is narrowed now. Probably in the year 1990s or 1980s, for example, we can see, right, there are more users among males, but now the number of users for male and female social media is actually narrowed. I think the latest figure about 46% for women, and 56 percent for men. So that actually explain the popularity of soon we will see a few of online social movement focusing on advocating the women's rights, and the women's interest, and women's interest, right? So when we look at democracy, how do we use, for example, these technologies, social media technologies, to extend democracy? Well, of course, we have come through the word, for example, Matt, with words or writings on electronic democracy. The use of this social media can actually democratize democracy. People can be more active. People can take part in political activities. Now, they have access directly to government official. They have access to establish a direct communication that also give potentialities and positivity, okay, to the idea of direct democracy, okay, now, right? And of course, okay, they are able to influence the decision-making process. Um, in the past, okay, probably if you want to influence the decision-making process, you may, for example, do it, okay, through political parties, okay, you, for example, okay, may join, okay, the NGOs. But now, okay, you can, okay, do it, okay, online. You can advocate, okay, your interest, okay, to a campaign conducted by social movement, and many of the social movement are beginning to use, okay, the social media as a form, okay, for campaigning. So when you talk about electronic democracy, we can expect to be an active participation between citizens, okay, and also authorities. Okay, and of course, okay, the focus, okay, of our discussion today, okay, we will be focusing on how cyber politics, okay, for example, okay, can extend democracy, can empower people voice and strengthen, okay, collective, okay, collaboration. All right. This is okay one of the most okay popular cartoon, all right, that tell us the possibilities of internet, okay, to people, okay, in extending okay democracy. At the bottom, okay, of the picture, okay, we can see that okay, it is written, okay, on the internet, nobody knows that you are a dog. So in other words, okay, it tells us that when you go online, you can use pseudonyms, okay, fake name, okay, non-real names. You can communicate, okay, for example, okay, with someone else, okay, in this case, okay, you communicate, okay, with your political leader. You can criticize, okay, your politicians, okay, without the fear, okay, of being arrested, okay, or of being, okay, for example, detained, okay. And okay, I think there is okay. I can't recall okay the concept or um in okay psychology, but okay it is okay argued that all right when you are online, the computer technically function as a shield. When it function as a shield, so you, for example, okay, has okay this commitment or this, for example, brave, okay, to actually okay criticize okay the authority. So you do not have okay to use okay what do we call okay as probably a filter, okay, to express okay your suggestion or even okay your dissatisfaction. All right. So if we want to look okay at the possibilities of democracy, we can see that okay a number of social media or internet okay characteristic is inherently okay can actually itself okay can be democratic, but at the same time of course it can also be undemocratic. We will look at it okay earlier, okay, later, okay. The characteristic of the internet okay or social media that we believe okay can be okay democratic is of course okay seven, okay, cost, okay, distance, volume, directionality, speed, target, okay, and also okay convergence. Okay, basically you go online, for example, okay, you are just a regular person, okay, like me, for example, you can okay communicate okay with your political authority. Okay, you do not have, for example, to spend money. You do not have to make an appointment. You what you need to do is to either okay responding to his comments okay on his okay social media, or even okay you can okay email him. And okay, you can do that. You can do that. Okay, even though okay you are not, for example, okay living in Malaysia. Let's say yeah, that you are the diaspora, for example, living overseas. Okay, so there are a number of studies okay that shows okay the diaspora also when they live okay overseas, they are also very okay observant okay of what is okay actually happening okay in their home okay country, okay, not only host country but also okay their home okay country. All right. So the internet also has the ability to mobilize voters. Okay. So people can take part in election political campaign, for example, okay, to advocate policies. You can, okay, post anything, okay, without, okay, fear. You can use your pseudonym. If, for example, okay, you fear that you'll be reported, what you can do is you can just, okay, take down, okay, the post. But okay, if your post, okay, receive, okay, million, okay, of viewers, okay, you know that your post somehow, okay, will be reposted, okay, and get, okay, to the objective. All right. So interactive communication, again, okay, like the dog, okay, for example, you remove the barrier between you and the authority. You can communicate directly, express, okay, your thoughts. All right. So this is, okay, the beauty of the social media. Okay, to many political, okay, users, to the including, okay, the politicians. All right, and this is, okay, why, okay, we see, okay, in many countries, all right, the politicians, okay, actually begin, okay, to embrace, okay, the social media, especially, okay, during, okay, electoral, okay, campaigning. I remember, for example, okay, having an interview with one employer, okay, of my students, okay, doing intern, and okay, according, okay, to the supervisor, okay, currently, okay, when we, for example, train, okay, our journalist, okay, we are not only focusing on his, okay, ability, for example, to write, but we also looking, okay, at the ability, for example, okay, of, okay, the student, okay, to produce, okay, a video. This is not, okay, a surprise. I remember talking, okay, to a colleague, okay, many years, maybe 10 or 12 years ago, in the newspaper industry, okay, currently, okay, with the particular time, okay, with the popularity, okay, of the social media, the main objective is fast news. Okay, everyone, okay, is actually, okay, working, okay, with one another, racing, okay, with one another to to produce, okay, fast, okay, news. And of course, okay, this characteristic is the one that can amplify the community voice, challenging the gatekeeping rule, okay, that is, okay, the traditional media and also political, okay, authorities. All right. But yet, okay, with these possibilities, there are also the, for example, challenges. Okay, before we go to the challenges, okay, if we look, okay, at this, okay, picture, these visual images, I'm sure you are familiar with them. This is the picture of the eyes, okay, for example, okay, on Rafah, which actually, okay, uh give, okay, emotions, okay, to many, okay, people, okay, Muslim, okay, or non-Muslim, okay, to advocate, okay, for the freedom, okay, of the Palestinians, okay. And okay, the these pictures, okay, I think, okay, is shared, okay, by 22 millions, okay, of, okay, Instagram, okay, users when it was posted. All right. And on our right is the picture, okay, of, okay, actually three salute, all right, figure, okay, which is a picture of the freedom. All right. I think it's from a Hunger Games, for example, okay, movie, for example. Okay, this is, okay, used, okay, when during the revolution, okay, in, okay, Myanmar. All right. During, of course, okay, the military, okay, occupation, earlier, okay, in 2000, okay, 21. And the hashtag, okay, is very familiar with many of us. If we want our news, our posting to be picked up, okay, by someone else, okay, and to be read by someone else, okay, of course, okay, we use, okay, the hashtag. This is a very popular, okay, hashtag. Okay, this is a Me Too hashtag. Okay, this is uh the hashtag, okay, to advocate, okay, actually, uh women's right, okay, to encourage, okay, women, okay, to tell about, okay, their experience, okay, of, okay, sexual, okay, harassment, especially, okay, at the working place. All right. And okay, it has, okay, actually, okay, from from a movement that started, I think Me Too, that started, okay, in the United States, okay, now, okay, it actually pick up, okay, by number, okay, of, okay, women, okay, worldwide, okay, that also, including, okay, China. All eyes, okay, on Rafah, although, okay, also, okay, this is, okay, another popular, okay, hashtag. All right. Challenges to democracy. When we look at the challenges to democracy, digital divide, okay, of course, okay, is the one, okay, that can pose as a challenge, okay, to electronic democracy. Income, educational, okay, attainment and employment. Okay, for example, okay, if you have a high, low income, you are not likely, okay, for example, okay, to spend, okay, your time, okay, more, okay, online. Okay, but okay, you are likely, for example, okay, to work, okay, and if you have for example, okay, high educational, okay, attainment, when you are online, okay, you are not only, okay, do the reading, but also, okay, you will also, okay, for example, okay, engage, okay, in a participation. And when you have a high, okay, attainment, for example, okay, of, okay, education, of course, okay, you are likely, okay, for example, okay, to use, okay, the social media, okay, more. Okay, and if you work, for example, okay, in the uh this, okay, social media, okay, environment, now we are actually working, okay, online. We cannot actually separate ourselves online or offline. Okay, so therefore we are likely, for example, okay, to engage, okay, more in social, okay, media. But of course, okay, not all people has, okay, this, okay, privilege. Okay, we see, okay, those, okay, for example, with lower income, okay, low educational attainment and employment, for example, are not likely, okay, to, for example, okay, participate, okay, in online, okay, political, okay, participation. Level of democracy in a state. Okay, this is actually related, okay, to the regulation. So the higher, okay, the countries, for example, okay, experience, okay, regulation, there is a highly likely, okay, that people cannot express, okay, itself, okay, online. So we see the government will come up, okay, with a number of regulation. It can be in the form of arrest. It can be, for example, in the form of legislation. It can also be, okay, in the form of, okay, self censorship. All right. We see this also, for example, not only in developed countries, also, okay, in, okay, non, okay, developed country, but that does not mean that the non-developed countries or countries that are considered as authoritarian, okay, are not really interested, okay, to invest, okay, in technology. We see countries, okay, for example, okay, in Vietnam, one example in Southeast Asia, uh, is one of the country with quite, okay, a number of young, okay, people, of young workers. So they are heavily, okay, invested, okay, in the technology. But okay, at the same time, okay, they are actually limiting, okay, the technology, okay, for public use. Um, they allow, for example, the population to use Google. Okay, you can use, okay, Facebook, but okay, of course, okay, with a limitation. And of course, the limitation is not being imposed only to the people, okay, but also to the investors. All right. So these are among the challenges, okay, of e-democracy. Of course, if you want to know more, then it will take, okay, more time, okay, for us. All right. And then all right, cyberpolitics, okay, and Islam. All right. How e-democracy, for example, okay, fact, okay, Islam, or in other words, how cyberspace, okay, facts, okay, the workings of politics or any political concept, okay, in Islam. We can see it through two um, spheres. Okay, one is the authority. Second, okay, of course, okay, is the privacy. Okay, when you look at the authority, all right. So you are online. Okay, you can say anything what you want to say. You can communicate with your um politicians, for example. Okay, you can criticize him. You can um maybe okay backbite him. Okay, without fear. Okay, how do you do that? Okay, you use fake names, for example. Or if you happen okay to attend a town hall meeting, you would, for example, okay, um blacken, okay, or switch off your camera. You are able to do that. Okay. So and okay, cyber politics, okay, also create tensions, okay, between the new authority figures. Okay, right now, okay, if we want, okay, to look at the impact, okay, we can see in Islam, especially in the religious, okay, field, is okay, who is more powerful? Is it the traditional muftis, or is it okay the social media muftis? And okay, social media muftis, okay, we know is okay very popular. For example, okay, among us, because okay of their ability, of course, okay, to communicate okay with us. They are the way okay they talk to us, the way they interact with us, the way they address us okay through video that we watch, okay, or probably okay through their posting or through TikTok. Okay, so traditional Muslim authorities, okay, who's okay with probably um, a degree with um, the requirements okay to be okay a mufti now has lost okay to those who made okay their reputation okay in the new media. And okay this okay we see in okay many okay countries. Okay, then okay clerics, okay, for example, okay, who rely on peer recognition, for example, and scholarship tend to be less okay visible, unless okay if they, for example, make okay an attempt okay to go and move okay online, right? And we see many of these clerics, okay, or muftis or ustads, okay, for example, now are using the social media for dakwah, for example. And social media is now the new mosque, okay, madrasah, for the dissemination of religious belief and also political belief. All right. So the issue now is who actually can give the legal opinion. And this legal opinion actually may um, influence how we behave, okay, politically. All right. So with the internet, okay, the platform has been democratized. Anyone has the ability to issue fatwa. All right. Even if you have, for example, no knowledge, okay, in Islam, you can, okay, issue fatwa. Even if you have, for example, the issue now that I see among friends, okay, who in the work in specializing in psychology. If you have okay no, for example, okay, degree in psychology, somehow okay you can give uh, uh, advices, okay, secretary advisors or psychological okay advisors okay online. And what makes it so interesting that it is picked up okay by okay many okay viewers, okay, and it's also okay fact okay the viewers. All right, does everyone is a mufti online, okay, educated youth, okay, we see now competing okay with the specialists okay in faith. So the authorities, okay, of course, okay, have, okay, given a number of strategies. Number one, okay, we see them begin to embrace, okay, the cyberspace, employ social media, okay, to convey the fatwa or any issues about Islam. Okay, this is what they need to do, okay, or the authority need to do, okay. Not only the political authorities, okay, but also, okay, the religious authority, they begin to regulate, okay, the social media. This is the worrying, okay, and some, okay, to many, okay, observers, okay, because, okay, some, okay, would not will regulate the social media to one extent, okay, that they limit, okay, the democratic, okay, space, meaning that when people want, okay, to engage in a discussion, all right, there are certain, for example, okay, areas that people, okay, cannot talk, for example, all right, let's say, okay, about religion, okay, about your race, okay, ethnicity, okay, and others, all right. So self-censorship is the best, okay, actually method, okay, by, of course, okay, the government, okay, one way to do it, okay, is, of course, okay, to probably, okay, to khutbah Jumaat, for example, okay, Friday sermon, okay, khutbah, okay, for example, okay, probably, okay, Hari Raya Eid, okay, is platform, okay, to remind, okay, people how to behave, for example, okay, online. And of course, okay, when we look at the level, or so not level, actually the place, okay, of social media authority versus, okay, traditional authority. It is the obligation, okay, for the voters, citizens, be it, for example, the netizens, okay, the social media, to obey the leaders. Okay, this we can see in the Surah An-Nisa, okay, ayat 59, okay, that say, "O believers, okay, obey Allah, obey Messenger, those authority among you. Should you disagree on anything, then refer it to Allah and His Messenger if you truly believe, okay, in Allah and the last day. For this is the best and fairest resolution." In my view, okay, for example, okay, you can give ideas, okay, you can give, okay, point your decision, but there are strict conditions, okay, when you want to post, okay, your opinion, okay. When you want to post, okay, your opinion, therefore, you need, okay, to verify the source of the opinion, which we seldom, okay, do it, okay, even if we are a Muslim, okay. We get so excited, okay, of the news, so we have the tendency to post it, the news, all right, without thinking, of course, again, the implication of the news, the objective of the opinion and the outcome to the society. This is what I said, okay, you just post, okay, without thinking of the implication of the news, okay. Remember that not all content, okay, can be distributed online, okay, that, okay, is a sensitive, okay, content, right. The past, okay, mistakes, okay, that were made, okay, by these, okay, previous, for example, okay, leaders, should not be propagated, okay, or distributed online. But this is what we like, okay, to do. This is what we see. This is what the politicians are doing, especially, okay, during, okay, elections, right? And, okay, when we talk, okay, about privacy, again, the privacy issue is intensified with the presence of, again, negative campaigning, okay, negative campaigning features, now, especially, okay, in election, we can see in the form of negative attack, okay, and cynical, okay, messages, okay, fear, arousing, okay, messages, okay, that, of course, okay, content, okay, carries, okay, what we see as, okay, hate, okay, speech. And the media smartphone, okay, enable, okay, the democracy, that enable, okay, democracy by making the medium is more open and transparent. And we can see that, okay, we are the a variety, okay, the variety of content producers. We produce, okay, the content, but it can also disable, okay, democracy. We have influencers sometimes, okay, we are also in the beginning, I think, becoming the influencer, okay. We stir up these racial and religious, okay, tensions, okay. We use this, okay, negative attack, okay. We use, for example, okay, these cynical messages, fear arousing, okay, messages, okay, to mobilize, okay, votes, for example, okay, to mobilize, okay, participation. And in Malaysia, it is, okay, very worrying, okay, because this is a country that is highly divided. So if, okay, this is not, for example, addressed, it can, okay, actually make the society more polarized, okay, around race and religion. not during the election only, but after the election, and this can actually create uh actually failed, or in other words, failed the attempt made to make to create a more multicultural and stable society in Malaysia. All right. Of course, when we talk about negative campaigning, the way I observe it, all right, it is becoming more like a normalized situation for many political leaders, and also for many political parties and also candidates. We cannot uh reject the idea or the comment that said that candidates for example sometimes believe, or maybe political consultant believe, that negative campaigning is likely to be more effective than positive campaigning, because when you attack someone, so someone must respond, so you can give your response. And in some study, they also found that negative campaigning in terms of negative acts, when you use the comparative, for example, acts, it can actually make people actually to increase, for example, vote. People want to vote. And at the same time also, they also found that negative campaigning in reality, when you talk about the personal attack in one study, they found that um um the voters, or in other words the respondents, do not like it, right? But in when we observe the practice of negative campaigning, for example, we see uh the personal attack also includes in this process. So in Islam, privacy is to be protected, privacy is to be respected. In real life, our personal files, image, document must be protected. However, when you go online, for example, when your politicians, when your candidates go online, you see your thoughts, expression, opinions in public. The prohibition against betrayal and lying, of course, is clearly indicated by the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he said a believer may commit various mistakes with the exception of betrayal and deception. The prohibition of slander, malicious gossip.
Doctor,
Yes.
to
All
have
right. Okay.
pass the time.
Oh, past the time. Okay. Okay. Can you give me one minute? Okay. To
Okay.
of course prevent malicious gossip. And this actually tell us that when we go online, we have to think of our objective. And when we go online, again, not everything that is right or actually there must actually be posted. All right. Things that can lead to slander, things that can lead to gossip, must not be shared by us. All right. Oh, I think that's all. Jaria. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Doctor, for explanation and sharing these lectures. I hope the participant can grab all that benefit. And now
Yes.
we can just, because we passed the time already, so
Mm-hmm.
maybe we can just answer one or two questions only, Doctor, because
Okay.
Doctor Rohaiza also already writing here.
Mm-hmm.
So if the participant, if you have the question, you can direct question. It's easy. If you have question, you can raise up your hand. because doctor, for your information,
Yes.
our participant is
Yes.
all around the world. Some places is
Yeah.
already in the midnight.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay, they have a question from Farida, doctor.
Okay. Let me see. Um, what's the question? Okay, how do
Question
we
is
reconcile, okay,
reconcile.
freedom of speech, okay, and okay, privacy? Well, okay, this is a very tricky question. And okay, of course, okay, I will answer okay according okay to our perspective, okay, that is okay the political science. All right. Of course, if we look okay at the objective of the country is to protect okay the security, okay, to ensure okay that there is a stability okay in the country. So in my view, okay, freedom of speech, yes, okay, must be protected. But yet, okay, there must be a limitation to the freedom of speech. You cannot have a total freedom, all right? You must have laws, okay, and in this case, okay, we have quite okay a number of laws, but these okay laws okay cannot restrict the potentiality of okay the population okay to engage okay in a discussion. The discussion okay that probably might not be supportive to the state must be actually allowed okay but with a limitation. All right. um Censorship attempts okay by government has okay led to public okay backlash. Okay, can you comment? All right. Yes, okay. Censorship okay attempts by the government okay has less okay to uh, public okay backlash. But okay, however, I believe okay that currently okay the government okay is not okay going towards okay the extending okay the more freedom I'm sorry okay of speech okay to the population. The government is likely okay to use the excuse, not the excuse, I don't know, okay, excuse such as okay um uh, protect national security to ensure okay the stability okay in order okay to come up with a number of okay different okay legislation and also different okay for example okay type okay of okay laws. And in fact okay currently, all right, the government in all state okay actually is beginning okay to establish okay their own digital sovereignty in which okay to make sure that the data will stay and belong okay to the country and it will not be shared okay by others.
Okay, thank you very much, doctor.
Okay. All right, okay, thank you.
Uh, well, hopefully we can grab all the benefit and hopefully it answered all the question from the participant.
All
Uh,
right,
thank you very much for your sharing today, and hopefully we can see you again in the next session. May Allah
okay, thank
bless you,
you okay
doctor.
Jaria, thank you everyone, okay, alhamdulillah.
Dr. Zarita, are you here?
Rohaiza.
Oh, Rohaiza, sorry, Zarita. Dr. Rohaiza, sorry. Zarita already done. Dr. Zarita. Okay, Dr. Rohaiza, this your sharing slide, right? Can you make it bigger, Doctor?
I do not know how to keep this.
Full screen. Full screen.
Because Canva is kind of difficult for, I do not know how to do it. Can we just use this one?
We can see, but it's still like not full screen.
Not full screen, yeah.
Yeah. or it come like that. Eh?
Yeah, it is like this. It goes as a topic. Canva.
It's okay that because we have passed the time. Maybe if the participant can see, still can see from the screen, we keep going on like that. If you can find it. Doctor, this is the first time for you, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Before we proceed with the lectures, let me introduce a bit regarding your biodata, a brief biodata. Okay, this is Associate Professor Dr. Rohaiza. She's a teacher in sociology at the Department of Sociology and Anthropology at the International Islamic University, Malaysia. Administratively, Dr. Rohaiza is currently the head of the Department of Sociology and Anthropology. She is also the head of the Women Progress Research Unit at the International Islamic University Malaysia, and a member of the IIUM Research Ethics Committee. And she's also the co-founder and editor of the IIUM Journal of Human Science. Academically, Dr. Rohaiza specializes in the sociology of work with specific interest in women employment, gender study, social innovation, and entrepreneurship and research methodology. With us, because we have passed the time, without further ado, فليتفضل مأجورة, Doctor. You have 45 minutes, Doctor, from now.
Thank you so much, Madam Jaria. Assalamualaikum to everyone. Okay, so I'm here today to represent the Department of Sociology and Anthropology. We have been listening to psychology just now, represented by Madam Aini. We are so grateful to have Madam Zarita as well, okay, representing communication, and Dr. Rohana just now, okay, by political science. So, Assalamualaikum everyone. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So, my session today is actually basically to compensate all the practicality and the applications of social sciences or human sciences, okay, and how we work in the reality. So in accordance to the specifications of our online certificate programs here, integration of knowledge for human sciences, my disciplines also would like to share our practicality or our applications, okay, in discussing about how we integrate the knowledge of Islamization perhaps, or ethicalizations in human sciences. So thank you so much again to IIIT for giving me this opportunity. So my topic is on exploring capabilities and potential for sustainability and social responsibility. And I would like to stress that my discussions is more towards Islamic perspectives, Islamic principles and perspective. Okay? So this is among the coverage for these sessions, for today's sessions. We're going to have more or less 4 sections. We start with how sociological perspective look on sustainability, followed by section 2, on how we, sociological perspective, look into social responsibility. Section 3, building responsibility for sustainable actions. And perhaps we can wrap up with section 4, overcoming challenges and seizing opportunity. So first of all, I would like to make sure that all of my audience here, my respected audience here and listeners and learners, knows what is sociology and in some ways also anthropology. Okay? So sociology is a scientific study of human society. And when we talk about human society, it is us, people, that focuses on human behavior, patterns of social relationship, social interactions, and aspects of cultures associated with our everyday life. And anthropology is a twin sister to sociology, which is a study of human societies, their cultures, and their development, which explores the origin and diversities of human beings. So I would like to put a disclaimer here. My discussions today is more on sociology, I'm more, having more knowledge, okay, at least in sociology. Okay, so I would like to, discussion, the next discussion throughout the sessions is on sociological perspective. Okay, so coming back to our topic, okay, we have a core concept here: sustainability and social responsibility. Okay, so what are those concepts, and why those concepts are very much important to us? Okay, so basically we know that sustainability is actually a balance of environment stewardship or guardianship. Okay, and it talks about social equity and economic viability as well. So these aspects is a key aspect, okay, in our everyday life. Okay, so sustainability is a pursuit of practices to ensure a balance between environmental guardianship, social equity, and economic viability to meet present needs without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own need. Because we are, responsibility, as we know, is that we are accountable, okay, of whatever we decide, whatever we do, and whatever we react. Okay, so we have to make sure that our existence here is actually continuations for the future, so that our grandchildren's, our next generations are able to enjoy whatever that we have, okay, that we have today. Okay, so these are the core concepts that we're going to discuss, okay, and how sociology as a discipline of human sciences tackle or try to manage this concept into practicality. Okay, these sessions, therefore, will be based on these three major questions. Okay, the first one: how do sociological perspective help us understand sustainability and social responsibility? Secondly, how do Islamic principles enrich these perspectives? And finally, perhaps, how can we align social system, okay, with Islamic ethics to foster sustainable and socially responsible practices? Okay, so the next slide is basically to further engage into discussions about sustainability and social responsibility. We have people, us, okay, sustainability, social responsibility, and environmental guardianship. Okay, one of the main aspects of our everyday life, which are very important to us. Okay, so when we talk about environmental guardianship, okay, we are actually zooming into resource efficiency. Okay, where it's every day we in need of water. Water is a main staple, okay, things that we need in our life for us to survive. Okay, we need water to drink. Okay, we need water to do ablutions, for example. Okay, and so many other things. And energy, other energies, as well as raw materials, which we need to be responsible and able to manage that efficiently. Why? So that we can reduce waste and pollutions. Okay, and when we talk about environmental guardianships, we also talk about ecosystem protections. Okay, so ecosystem protections is about preserving our biodiversity. Okay, we protect our wildlife. Okay, natures. Okay, we prevent deforestation. Okay, unnecessary deforestations, and then degradations. Okay, and also I think throughout the world, globally, we discuss about climate actions as well. Okay, so we need to reduce all the unnecessary, or at least not that important. Okay, in order for us to have a very ideal life. Okay. And then we go to social equity. Okay, another element, another keywords, okay, which is very important in relation to sustainability and social responsibility. Okay, when we talk about this, okay, social equity, okay, we don't talk about equality because everyone needs is not always the same. Okay, men and women have different needs and therefore need to be catered differently. Okay, but the outcome should be satisfying for both sex and genders. Okay, so social equity is about inclusions. So we need to ensure we include all those marginalized and underrepresented represented groups as well. Okay, their voice is very much needed. They need not to be marginalized or put aside, because they are all the same. Their rights is also the same with us. Okay, and that we talk also about community well-being. Okay, which is about supporting local communities, especially to make them aware. Okay, through educations. Okay, and then we have healthcare. Okay, and social programs that is for the well-being of the community at large. And then definitely, when we do things, we need to do ethically. So ethical practices, okay, is very much important here. Okay, for example, in the context of work, okay, we ensure that having safe work conditions, okay, having fair wages, and respects of human rights. Okay, and I think still, okay, in the introductions about sustainability and social responsibility, we go to the next important keywords, okay, which is economic viability. So money is not everything, but it is something. Okay, in order for us to live, okay, to survive, okay, still, okay, the financial viability or economic viability is still relevant. It's very much relevant. In fact, when we talk about Islamic perspective, okay, they still need to have a balance. Okay, having ibadah and also having being rich. Okay, so economic viability is very important. So that could be within the context of having sustainable business or industries, okay, models that adopts practices that reduce cost and enhance efficiency, okay, such as having renewable energy and circular economic approaches. And therefore, we need to be resilient as well, okay, where we ensure businesses and economics to adapt with all the challenges that are available, okay, because the challenges is so dynamic now, okay, it's very robust, okay, and therefore we need to be resilient, okay, towards these environmental challenges as well. And definitely be innovative, okay, we need to be innovative, okay, where we invest in sustainable technologies and practices that create a long-term values, positive long-term values. Okay, so with these interconnections, okay, of the three elements just now, environmental guardianships, okay, social equity, and economic viability, okay, we know that they have to be integrated well. Okay, for example, we talk about a business. Nowadays, people realize that we need to use solar system. Okay, so a business adopting solar system, that is actually environmental stewardships or guardianships, okay, where we can reduce cost. Okay, we can reduce cost. Okay, then that is actually economic viability. Okay, and then this solar system support clean energy initiative that benefits local communities. Okay, where this is about social equity. So as you can see, with this balance, initiative can create lasting positive impact. Okay, with this good environmental guardianships, okay, with a very ensure a balanced social equity and economic viability, we will be able to achieve, okay, the holistic approach that ensure for the progress. Okay, for the progress in one dimension does not come at the expense of other, and that will ultimately foster economic or sustainable future. Okay, now we move on to the section 1, okay, which is what I'm supposed to discuss further. Okay, how the disciplines, okay, of sociology perspective on sustainability works. Okay. Sorry, I'm having a bad cough lately. Okay, so it's got a perspective on sustainability. Okay, so we're going to discuss on how sociology examines, okay, social structures, norms, and collective behaviors can influence sustainability. Okay, so social system is a very important aspect, okay, in discussing sociological discipline. Okay, social systems are the structured and interconnected network of institutions, organizations, and relationships that shape society. Okay, so these social systems influence our behavior. It influence how we allocate resources, okay, and the policies that impact sustainability and social responsibility. Okay, for example, we look into the systems, okay, the social system or the institutions of family units. Okay, family unit shapes how we consume, okay, how we consume things. Okay, so family shapes consumption patterns. Okay, family is also teaching us, okay, what kind of values that we should have, okay, and type of attitudes towards sustainability. Okay, so for example, okay, families teaching their children about reducing waste. Okay, so this have been started from the family institutions, okay, from the parents, okay, how we need to teach our children about to reducing waste. Okay, that country can contribute to long-term behavioral change. So as much as possible, institutions like family need to make sure that they teach or they make their youngsters, okay, members of families to really aware, okay, of the importance about reducing the waste in their life. Okay. And when we talk about another institutions like educations, of course, okay, when the institutions is the first starting point where we know things, okay, especially for the young people, the next level that they go for socializations is definitely educations at schools, at universities. So these institutions play a critical role in raising awareness, okay, about sustainability and promote innovation to solve environmental and social issues. Okay, so if family, is the starting point where the youngsters get started to realize, okay, where they may not be able to decide where yet, okay, about what is good and bad so much, they should be guided, okay, and monitored. But at the schools, okay, and the universities in particular, okay, they should be having a more awareness, and not only awareness, they need to decide now, okay, that this is a critical time for them to really go for, achieving the full potentials of sustainability and being responsible of whatever they do in life, in particular, in our context in environmental issues. Okay? And another social system which are also very relevant is government. Okay, government sets policies. Okay, government sets regulations. So laws, okay, policies such as environmental laws, okay, or having resource management strategies and social equity programs will ensure sustainable practices and fair resource distributions. So basically, we can say that social systems, okay, drive collective behavior and influence large-scale change. For example, in many countries today, okay, whereas the government policies supporting renewable energy adoptions, and that will reshape how societies consumes resources. In Malaysian context, for example, okay, quite recently, okay, the government started to provide lots of subsidies or very positive policies with regards with the use of EV cars, okay, electric cars, as against petrol or diesel cars. Okay, so to some extent they've been reduced, or they don't have to pay for road taxes or and some others. Okay, so this is one effort. Okay, as a national efforts. Okay, to make sure that the environmental issues at least been taken care in the forms of transportation. Okay, where we use electric powers rather than having petrols or diesels. Okay, so may I ask, what about your countries? Okay, maybe you can say anything with regards to what are the policies that actually towards having a sustainability within the responsible actions that have been introduced or established in your own country.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so maybe I can get some inputs later on. Okay. I will continue with the next one, okay, which is on the collective actions, okay, where when we talk about collective actions, this is also very important, okay, to ensure sustainability and social responsibility. And by definition, social actions refers to our efforts, okay, efforts undertaken by groups or by communities to achieve a common goal. So this is where collectivity comes from. Okay, so it is often seen in social movements where people organize to address societal or environmental challenges. Okay, a good example here is to eliminate it is about climate activism. Okay, where individuals and organizations advocate for policies to combat climate change. Okay, so we have lots of social movements, okay, that highlights the urgency for environmental actions through public discourses, okay, through protest event or having campaigns. Okay, so collective action can amplify marginalized voices. Okay, those people who are being marginalized, and they are able to influence policies to reflect the needs of broader communities. So it showcases the power of unity, okay, in addressing the pressing global issues, okay, like social inequality, like climate change. Okay? And that goes to another point, which is inequality and justice. Okay? So inequality refers to uneven distributions of resources, okay, uneven distributions of opportunities and privileges in society. Justice, however, means or emphasizes on fairness and equity. So addressing these issues is very important for sustainable development, as we can avoid unfairness or disparities, okay, in resource access that often undermine effort to achieve environmental and social balance. Okay? So the impact is very clear here, where having true sustainability development initiative must address these inequalities. So projects that prioritize inclusivity, okay, such as equitable energies, access or affordable housing should align with principles of justice and ensure no one is left behind in the journey towards sustainable future. Okay, so by understanding, okay, addressing these sociological themes, society can build more inclusive, more equitable, and sustainable system that balance environmental and social and economic needs. Okay. And how those things can be integrated into Islamic perspectives. Okay. Clearly enough, I think, throughout my discussion just now, talks about justice. It talks about adl. Okay? It talks about being balanced or wasatiyah. So I think Islam emphasizes, adl, equity, aligning so well, okay, with the sociological dimensions for social inclusions and sustainability. Okay, so justice in Islam or adl is fundamental. Okay, it's a fundamental principles where it requires fairness in all dealings, whether with individuals, whether with communities, or even other creatures. Okay, that even Quran in Surah An-Nisa, for example, verse 58, say that indeed Allah commands you render trust to whom they are due. And when you judge between people, is to judge with justice. Okay, so justice or adl is very important in the implementation of Islamic practices, and it goes to moderation as well. Okay, we need to be moderate or wasatiyah. Okay, and in this case, we need to discourage for any wastefulness. Okay, and that concerns with moderation as our lifestyles. Okay, so the principle of wasatiyah in Islam advocates for balanced living. Okay, avoiding extremes in consumptions and ensuring resources, okay, where the resources need to be used judiciously, okay, ethically. Okay, so this concept supports sustainable practices by encouraging thoughtful use of natural resources. Okay, so we have lots of examples, okay, like having zakat, okay, sadaqah, okay, where we want to address our economic inequalities, okay, so that we can make them, this marginalized group in a better situations, in more quality life. Okay. Now about how sociological perspective looks, okay, on social responsibility. Okay, so the sociological perspective, okay, on social responsibility highlights the importance of collective efforts and ethical behavior guided by cultural norms to benefit society. Okay, so norms is a guiding aspects in our life. Okay, your Malaysian norms not necessarily the same like other people's, other societies. Okay, but all in all, it has been integrate well. Okay, within the context of Islam, okay, Islamic context. So Islamic principle profoundly enhance this framework by embedding values that align with social responsibility. Okay, so for example, the concept of guardianship, okay, stewardships, okay, or khilafah, designate humans, us, as a caretaker of the earth that emphasize the maintenance of balance and sustainability as reflected in the Quran, Surah Al-An'am, verse 165. It is He who has made us successors, okay, upon the earth. So we are the successors, we are the Khalifah, okay, of the earth, so that we can do just. Okay, and in that sense, okay, a concept of like charity or sadaqah, okay, and zakat, okay, promote wealth redistributions to reduce inequality, and that echo, okay, what sociological calls, okay, for addressing systematic against systematic unfairness. Okay? So how Islamic principles further enhance, okay, social responsibility? It's very clear. Okay, we discussed this now of how khilafah, okay, how charity and zakat and sadaqah and maslahah takes into considerations, okay, to make sure that we can have a collective benefits, okay, the benefits of all. So a clear example is Islamic banking, okay, where it encourages investment, a good investment by avoiding those haram kind of industries to society. Okay, so this is clearly illustrate the integrations of Islamic ethics with social ideas and social responsibility. So section 3 is basically on building capabilities for sustainability. Okay. Sustainable actions. Okay, so basically we can say that sociological insights reveals that sustainability requires now, okay, enhancing capabilities through educations, okay, through equitable policies and community engagement, which collectively foster awareness, fairness, and collective actions. So education raises consciousness. Okay? It raises consciousness about ecological and social challenges, equipping us, individuals, with knowledge to act responsibly, which is a value. Okay? Acting responsibly is a value deeply rooted in Islam, okay? Where the pursuit of ilm, okay, is emphasized. Okay? And another important aspect is the community engagement driven by shura or consultations. It further fosters, okay, the inclusive decision making and collective accountability, and that further strengthens trust and cooperations. Okay, so this is very important in order for us to do just to everyone. Okay, so a good example is to have a community initiative to reduce food waste. Okay, inspired by Islamic teaching on avoiding to be extravagance and cultivating and more cultivating on being syukur, okay, gratitudes. Okay, so this demonstrates how how sociological and science principles converge to advance sustainability through shared values and actions. Okay. I would like to bring you to what we had conducted at the departmental level. Okay, well, we discussed. Whatever we discussed is actually in theory have been manifested practically as well. So at the university, okay, International Islamic University, okay, we have been engaged, okay, with the society surrounding us. So SOCA, which is the acronym for my department, Sociology and Anthropology, is entrusted to engage with the community under Synergized Academic Activity, or SAA, community projects. So among other things, we started with having, awareness, some sort of like a small projects. Okay, so for example, here we assisting the villages, okay, the orang kampung through the village chief in applying the grant, okay, for community hydroponic urban farming project. Okay, so in this, we hope to get some to help the villages, okay, the people of Kampung Kerdas. Kampung is actually village, okay. So the village by the name of Kerdas, okay, to set up, okay, hydroponic urban farming project. Okay, so that it talks, it is about having not only to have financial or economic viability, but also, okay, in lots of literature, it talks about as well to achieving serenity, okay, spiritual well-being, okay, having touch with the direct touch with the plants and the greens, okay. Another project that we always do, okay, every semester is involving youngsters from Kampung Kerdas in the educational programs, okay, conducted by the department, SOCA, and also with the help of our student associations, SOCASA. Okay, so we always have a program in order to make them aware of so many things, okay, especially about environmental issues, okay, about the importance of education, okay, and everything. Okay, and quite recently, we also have a awareness project where we present a conference poster at the International Conference on Mental Wellbeing and Women's Empowerment, okay, with the theme, Her Mind, Her Strength, Women, Wellness and Empowerment. And this is a government's conducted or organized by the government agencies, okay, the Institute Social Malaysia. So as you can see at the right, there's a poster that actually won for a silver medal, okay, to make people aware about the the importance of empowering self, okay, especially for women, because when we talk about urban farming, okay, women have yet to to get involved at the maximum, okay, in the project, okay, and we want to make sure that they also be included, okay, or aware, okay, of their possibility, okay. And I talked just now about synergized activities, okay. So the program that we have involve one of the one of the courses in our department, okay, work and social organizations, under the code SOCA 3390, where the students need to prepare a community educational project, educational project with women at Kampung Kerdas. So in that course, okay, we definitely have the course learning outcomes, or the CLO, in the course outline, where we have 4. that need to be embedded into the practicality. So here we use a certain framework to portray managerial abilities and to make sure that they portray work ethics within the context of Islamic perspectives. And this is one of the 3 projects that we have with the students. Okay, this is known as Project 2 that requires our students to produce work simulators activities. This is the outcome of the of the project. Okay, so of course, as it's a synergized academic activity with the people with the community. So we have mark allocations with 30%, whereby proposal writing is 10% and work activities is 20%. Okay, just to show to you what are the CLOs that we have put into our course outline, particularly for this specific course, okay, work and social organization. We have CLO 1, as I mentioned, the web cultural analysis just now. We recognize the concept and theories associated with work and organizations, particularly in relation to urban farming. Okay, that includes women. Okay, so and then we have CLO number 2, demonstrating managerial ability in organizational settings by appraising various work relations and experiences. And CLO 3, displaying work ethics on employment issues and organizational problems using interpersonal skills, okay, because they have to work with the villages, with people, okay, with the community. So therefore, they need to be able to use certain interpersonal skills. And finally, for CLO 4, we would like them to appraise the culture of work and organizations from Islamic perspective. So these are the CLO, okay, the course learning outcomes that we set for the course. Okay, and we try so hard, okay, to make sure that the students are able to gain something, okay, out of this course. But I do not want to, basically, I do not want to talk so much on the Project 2 just now, just to show to you what was being said to them, okay, to the students. We have the objective, okay, we have the descriptions, okay, of what the students need to do, okay, what are the assessment criteria, and how, what are the rubric that we use, okay, to make sure that they assess, they are assessed well, okay, and we also have the project, okay, the date for the project. So if you would like to know more about the plan, okay, maybe you can contact me directly at my email. Okay. Okay, now we go to section 4, okay, which is overcoming, okay, challenges and seizing opportunities. So we know that all the theoretical aspects about sustainability and, being responsible need to be expressed, okay, in a practical manner, particularly when we talk about, students, learners, okay, as we are in our situation now. Okay, I think most of you are students as well. Okay, I'm also students, okay, lots of things that have not been learned, okay, that need to be studied. Okay, so for that, okay, we need to understand, okay, about this further. Okay, so what could be the overcoming challenges and how can we seize opportunities? Okay, so this section 4 is on talking about the key challenges, okay, that include in expressing our issue on sustainability, okay, to foster sustainability. So the key challenges include structural barriers such as inequality and lack of education, okay, and which I think many countries, okay, are still need to be to have to make people more aware of the importance of education, okay. Because without education, it limits our access, okay, to resources and participations on sustainable initiative and cultural resistance to change. Okay. However, opportunities exist, okay, to leverage Islamic teachings, such as through the principles of Khilafah and Wasatiyah, to inspire sustainable practices by emphasizing the moral duty to protect the environment and reduce waste. And additionally, it can build coalitions, okay, that combine sociological insights with religious framework that can help bridge the cultural gap. Okay, so it's sorry. a good example, okay, that I can bring to you, and I hope to get some ideas from you, is how can we tackle the issue on having greenhouse programs, okay, greenhouse programs, okay, to promote eco-friendly practices during pilgrimage, okay, which is Hajj will be soon, okay. So maybe we can share some ideas with regards to green Hajj programs if you ever heard about it. Okay, anybody would like to say something?
Welcome, Dr.
Yes, Waalaikumsalam.
Uh, this is, have you done or you still have
It's
that?
already okay. Then it's 12:30 or 34 already. Okay, I'll just
Okay.
continue. Okay. To conclude, basically, it's very important for us, okay, to know that by now sociology offers valuable tools, okay, to understand and address structural challenges such as inequality, okay, such as social injustice and systematic barriers to sustainability, providing insights into how societies functions and how to implement effective change. Meanwhile, Islamic principles offer ethical guidance by emphasizing values such as justice, equity, guardianships, encouraging individuals and community to react responsibly towards the environment and society. So this alignment, okay, is very important to make sure that we are able to foster sustainability through responsible actions. So I think I will end my sessions with a very important hadith, okay, that from Sahih Muslim: the earth is green and beautiful, and Allah has appointed you His stewards over it. So we are the in charge of making sure that the earth, that the environment is well taken care of for the benefits of all and for the benefits of future. It is not the mind that make things simple. It is the actions that make things sinful. So thank you so much, Kay, for your attention, and you can contact me at Rohaiza, okay, at my email address, okay, at the department, if you want to have further information. Okay, so thank you so much for your attention again. Thank you. Bye bye. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. MashaAllah, it's very beneficial. To all participants, you can have the Q&A session. Don't worry, the slide I will put in give it to me and I will put in the group, inshallah. Some of the participants, they already request for the slide. Okay, now if the participant need to ask the question, you can direct asking to Dr.
Yes.
by raise up your hand. Easy for me to unmute for you guys. Let's check in this block.
I think I received one remark there from Mr. Tierno. Thank you, okay, for the interest. Okay, inshallah, you can contact me at my email rohaiza@iium.edu.my to talk more about this possibility. Okay, and of course, okay, it is very important for us to learn from you as well. Okay, of how, because I think many other peoples have done so good things, okay, with regards to how they manage the environment, okay, how they manage the social equity and economic viability. In particular, I'm more interested on to women's side, okay, with women aspect. So maybe we can share some ideas on how we can do this. Thank you so much.
Some from Islah Abdullah, they asking that what does the green Hajj refer?
Hey, thank you so much for the question. I was expecting to receive some input just now. Somehow I need to explain, right? But yeah, it's very important. Okay, the Green Hush initiative is actually exemplifies how Islamic principles can guide a successful environment actions. For example, okay, in Hajj, which is one of the five pillars, they involve millions of pilgrims traveling to Saudi Arabia annually. Okay, so it is very significant environment impacts such as waste generation, making waste. Okay, we have lots. I mean, after pilgrimage actions, you can see many waste have been produced. Okay, and carbon emissions as well. So we have to make sure that this thing, if not, can be eliminated altogether, perhaps can be gradually reduced. Okay, so we can have programs such as eco-friendly practices, like using reusable water bottles. Okay, and then therefore we are able to minimize plastic waste, okay, and opting for sustainable transportation as well. We have, I mean, ablutions, for example. Okay, we may need to use water which is necessary for us to make ablutions. Okay, so I think all these aspects is very important for us to okay, in the touch. So I think yeah, okay, Farida further explain to us, okay, elaborate how during Hajj, water are being very scarce, very limited, okay, and therefore there's some guidelines that have been provided by the IIIT that we must follow. Okay. Thank you, Brother Yusuf and Sister.
Well, thank you very much, Doctor, for your wonderful and intellectual sharing and meaningful. I hope all participants can benefit from these lectures. And may Allah bless you, Doctor. Hopefully, we can see you again in the next session. And I think we still have question or already done. I think it's in, done by that, Doctor.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you to all.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Now we come to the end of this session. Inshallah, we close our class today with tasbih kafarah and surah al-as. Subhanallah wa bihamdi, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika asyhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wal 'asr innal insana lafi khusr illa alladhina amanu wa 'amilus solihati wa tawasaw bil haqq wa tawasaw bis sabr. Amin. Thank you very much, Doctor.
Thank you, Madam. Assalamualaikum. Salam, everyone.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.